Chapter 3706. Come back. You've lost this round. The elder of the Thunder God City looked at the Thunderbat and spoke in a deep voice. His expression was somewhat unsightly. He did not expect that Laybat would lose. Laybat said, "Old John, I haven't lost yet. I can still fight." However, the elder was not willing. Those who fought were all geniuses. If they were careless and died, or if their foundation was damaged, the loss would outweigh the gain. Left with no choice, Laybat could only clench his teeth and walk back. On the other hand, the people from Peerless City cried out in shock. They finally won a round. Let's see if the people from Thunder God City still dare to be arrogant. Sure enough, the people from Wushuang City were more powerful. Many people exclaimed in excitement. However, there were some experts who shook their heads. They could not come to a conclusion so early. There were many people from Thunder God City. They were afraid that the spar would not end so easily. Sure enough, 3 people from Thunder God City walked out. 3 people from Wushuang City accepted the challenge. The result was shocking. Wushuang City only won 1 round and lost the other 2. This caused Wushuang City's morale to suffer a blow. Countless people exclaimed in surprise. On Thunder God City's side, a smile appeared on their lips. Competing with them? They were still far from it. This time, they were here to teach Wushuang City a lesson. They wanted to let them know what a veteran's sacred city was. "Old Zhang, what should we do? Are they still clamoring for us to fight?" The people from Wushuang City asked. Those elders frowned. These people from Thunder God City were too arrogant. That's right. Their disciples had already joined Sacred City for a period of time. On the other hand, we haven't even entered the sect yet. We'll be at a disadvantage if we fight. That's right. Those people from Thunder God City could not be called as new disciples because they had already trained for a long period of time. On their side, they had not even entered the sect. If they continued to fight, they would probably get involved with the top few core disciples. They were all important targets to nurture. If they were defeated at this time, it would be a huge blow to their confidence. "Elder, it's fine. Let us do it," Shi Bufan said in a deep voice. Xin Jingqiu, Zishu Tianqin, Wang Xiaofeng, and the others also said that they could also fight. They were not afraid of losing. "It's not that I don't believe you, but the risk is too big. Their people have all trained in Sacred City's secret technique. Moreover, this time, they didn't send their core disciples to the front. If you go into the water, the gains won't make up for the losses. Indeed, if the other party was also one of the top few, this battle was not impossible. After all, if he won, he would instantly become famous. However, if the other party was just an ordinary disciple who had been in the Holy City for a long time and cultivated a secret technique, they could bully the core disciples who had just entered the Holy City. If he were to lose, he would become the laughingstock of the world. However, if he didn't fight, he would be ridiculed by others. These elders decided to let the second-generation disciples take action. They would find a way to divert the flames of war to the previous generation disciples. It could preserve these new disciples. Originally, the human roots of the Thunder Divine City did not want to do this. They were here to attack Wushuang. How could they fight with the second-generation disciples? They wanted to trample these disciples who had yet to join the sect under their feet. It would be best if their Tao hearts crumbled. Let me do it. Just as Peerless City was in a difficult position, and everyone was shocked, thinking that Peerless City would be suppressed by Thunder God Cheng, Lin Xian spoke up. He wanted to participate. "No, you can't participate." The elders of Peerless City shook their heads immediately. What a joke! Even top core disciples like Shi Sui, Tianqin, and Shen Jingqiu were not willing to participate. How could they let Lin Xian, the top disciple, participate? "You can't go. It's too risky. They are trying to provoke you." "That's right. You have to cherish your reputation now. If you want to fight, you can join the Holy City and cultivate our secret technique. Then you can fight with him in the future." The elders tried to dissuade him. The second-generation disciples said one after another, "That's right. junior brother Lin. You can't let your emotions affect your decisions. Lin Xian said, "This matter started because of me. If I were to back down now, I wouldn't be able to answer to myself. Furthermore, I believe in pressing forward courageously. Since I dared to use the name Lin Wuti, I am prepared to fight at any time. Furthermore, with the performance of the East Spirit World, don't you guys believe in me?" Lin Xian looked around. The people of Peerless City were silent for a moment. That's right, this Lin Wuti was special. However, they were not willing to take the risk. "Don't worry, Elder. I will give you my head to guarantee that I won't lose. If I lose, I won't be the chief disciple anymore." The people from Peerless City sucked in a breath of cold air. Even Shui Tianqin, Shi Bufan, and the others were shocked. They could tell that Thunder God City was aggressive. Even if they were to join the battle personally, they were not confident of winning. In fact, they didn't even have half the confidence. But now, Lin Xian actually said that he wouldn't lose. What kind of confidence was that? Furthermore, if he lost, he wouldn't be the chief disciple anymore. Wasn't that a military order? But the elders still wanted to say something, but a figure said, "Let him try." Everyone turned around and realized that the one who spoke was Fu Hongye. They were shocked. Senior brother Fu was here already? Seeing Fu Hongye nodding, the elders were silent. Fu Hongye and the rest believed that Lin Xian was confident, since the other party said that it meant that Lin Xian should be confident. "All right, then you will join the battle. But you must be careful. Be careful of Lei Chong. Don't fight with him. Don't worry, Elder. I know what I'm doing." Lin Xian nodded. He walked forward with a cold smile. Don't fight with Lei Chong? Although he said that, who knew what would happen if they really fought? It was fine if Lei Chong didn't provoke him. If Lei Chong dared to jump out, he wouldn't mind stepping on this old genius. On the other side, Thunder God City looked determined. They felt that their goal was about to be achieved. The surrounding warriors were in an uproar. Could it be that Thunder God City was going to slap Peerless City's face today? Just as the crowd was discussing anxiously, a figure walked out from the crowd. How could it be him? "Tianya, who is that? Are my eyes playing tricks on me?" Many people started screaming because they realized that a figure was walking out. But this figure shouldn't have appeared. Lin Wuti, why did he come out? Yes, he was the chief disciple. His identity wasn't ordinary. If he lost, Peerless City's face would be completely lost. Peerless City shouldn't let him participate in the battle. Cries of surprise rang out one after another. Everyone knew this simple logic. But why was Peerless City doing this? Even the people from Thunder God City were stunned. Lin Wuti? They rubbed their glasses. Did I see wrongly? In the next moment, they were ecstatic. Great, Lin Wuti was going to fight? Their hearts were beating wildly. If they could defeat Lin Wuti, it would be comparable to all their previous achievements. This was the most crucial battle. They had to trample this new chief, disciple, under their feet. Chapter 3707. I'll go. Lei Chong was too excited. His figure flashed, and he was about to rush up, but he was stopped by the elder beside him. Don't be impulsive. You'll scare him away if you go up. Let's find someone to test his skills first. It's best to let him win 1 or 2 rounds and then confuse him. Let him think that he can stand until the end. At that time, you can make a move. Good. Lei Chong laughed. Everyone in Thunder God City laughed. The opponent was definitely dead. First, 2 level 4 saints were sent out. Soon, level 4 saints from Thunder God City walked out. Everyone below was discussing. This Lin Wuti, what kind of strength did he have? He was just a level 3 saint. How could he become the chief disciple? Don't worry, they would be able to see his true strength in a while. Many people were excited. Some people, such as the Spirit Clan, didn't believe it. They even thought that Lin Xian could get this position because their saintess secretly helped him. The Rain Clan gritted their teeth. It would be best if the people from Thunder God City killed the opponent on the spot. The people from the Fiend Star and the spirit sealing star were also gloating. If something happened to Lin Wuti at this time, it would be for the best. Di Ling's expression was cold. He gritted his teeth. He couldn't wait to go up and kill the opponent with his own hands. Come, kid. Let me see what kind of strength you have. The people from Thunder God City clamored. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. A level 4 saint dared to deal with him? He didn't know the difference between life and death. At the back, the people from Peerless City were also stunned. What was going on? Why would the opponent send such a person to fight? They were puzzled. A level 4 saint wasn't weak. He could definitely sweep away everything outside and make countless people tremble. However, in the Holy City, he wasn't the strongest. He was the middle power. In their opinion, in order to deal with a chief disciple like Lin Xian, the other party would definitely send someone at the late stage of the 4th heaven, or even someone at the 5th heaven, to kill him in one blow. They were already prepared to deal with all kinds of dangers at any time, but they didn't expect the opponent to send such a person. The battle ended quickly. Lin Xian won. The level 4 saint was defeated. The crowd below exclaimed in surprise. Fighting someone of a higher realm than him? These people were crazy. Could it be Lin Wuti? Normally, even if a genius could surpass a level, it would only be by a small realm. For example, an early stage cultivator could fight against an intermediate stage cultivator. How could a 3rd heaven cultivator fight against a 4th heaven cultivator? This was something that only top geniuses could accomplish. Next, another level 4 expert made his move. In the end, they were still defeated. Even those people who had become Thunder God clasped their fists and said, Lin Gongzi's strength is admirable. However, following that, the people from the Thunder God City started to attack. This time, it was a middle stage 4th heavenly layer cultivator who was also defeated. Thunder God Chengdu had lost 3 matches in a row. It could be said that his momentum had been suppressed to the extreme. On the side of Peerless City, although they were excited, the elders were frowning. What was Lei Qing doing? The people below were shocked. Lin Wuti was too strong. However, the older generation was also puzzled. That shouldn't be the case. Compared to Di Ling, these people were much weaker. Di Ling, a late-stage 4th heavenly layer with countless divine abilities in his hands, couldn't beat Lin Wuti. How could the people of Thunder God City not understand this point? Oh no, this might be a trap. Some people were shocked. The elders of Peerless City also thought of this point. They first used 3 victories to confuse Lin Xian and let him get carried away by the victory. Then they would use the real killing move. If this was really the case, then Thunder God City was too despicable and vicious. They wanted to stop it, but at this time the people of Thunder God City started to move. 3 victories were enough to confuse this kid. Next, he would be miserable. The people of Thunder God City sneered in their hearts. The martial artist who went up was also a middle stage 4th heavenly layer sage. However, this was only his cultivation base on the surface. His real cultivation base was at the late stage 4th heavenly layer. Moreover, he had already cultivated Thunder God Cheng's secret technique. His strength was definitely incomparably strong. Moreover, he attacked the opponent unexpectedly. He would definitely be unprepared. Lin Gongzi, please advise. The person who came up had a human face, but his ears were pointed. Obviously, he wasn't from the human race, but one of the 10,000 ancient races. His name was Panma. Panma had a smile on his face, as if he was just exchanging pointers. However, he was sneering in his heart. Brat, let me personally trample you under my feet. When the time comes, I want to see what kind of expression these people from Peerless City will have. Well said. Lin Xian nodded slightly, seemingly without any defense. Both sides exchanged blows, fighting earth-shaking. However, from the looks of it, Lin Xian still obtained the upper hand. Pan Ma persisted bitterly, about to be defeated at any time. Everyone was shocked. This Lin Wuti was very strong. However, the hearts of those elders from Peerless City were thumping wildly. On the side of Thunder God City, they revealed a hint of malevolence. It was about time. At the 20th move, it looked like Panma was going to be defeated. However, at this time his palms suddenly formed seals. Countless laws condensed in his hand, forming a treasure bottle. That was a purple treasure bottle. It was sparkling and translucent like a precious jade. There were flames spreading on it, and there was even lightning revolving around it. Thunder God City was famous for its thunder law. Those who entered Thunder God City would cultivate this kind of thunder god law. Of course, it was impossible for a sage to only possess one type of law. Especially some top geniuses, they grasped 2 or 3 types of law in their hands. Lightning law was just one of them. For example, at this moment, the treasure bottle in Panma's hand not only had the thunder law, but also the fire law. The moment this purple treasure bottle appeared, a berserk aura pervaded the 9 heavens and 10 lands, making many people tremble. Even those late-stage 4th firmament people had a drastic change in expression. Damn it, what was going on? This aura? What was going on with this person? There was a problem. At this moment, everyone was stunned. This was definitely not an ordinary middle-stage 4th firmament. This was a powerful genius, and he had a terrifying divine ability in his hands. It was over. Lin Wudi was going to be in danger. Peerless City's side similarly had a change in expression. Damn it, purple thunder treasure bottle. This was a great divine ability. Lightning and fire intertwined. The berserk power surpassed everything. Thunder God City was too despicable. They were incomparably anxious. Lin Xian must not be careless. Sherbufan and the rest were similarly incomparably nervous. Would Lin Wudi be defeated? If it was a head-on battle, he definitely would not. But an unexpected attack would definitely injure him. Big Brother Lin. Shen Jingqiu's heart was nervous to the extreme. Kid, go to hell for me. Panma took out the purple thunder treasure bottle and aimed it at Lin Xian. Purple lightning and terrifying flames intertwined together, forming a ray of light that charged forward. Heaven fell and earth rend. Not good. This power was still above imagination. Everyone screamed. Lin Xian similarly had a hint of a cold smile in his eyes. Was he finally going to make a move? Chapter 3708. He seemed to be careless, but he had always been careful because he knew that Thunder God City would never let him go. Finally, he felt the danger. This purple lightning Aquarius was indeed very strong. However, it was impossible to injure him. With a wave of his hand, the stellar transposition was executed. The mysterious power caused this terrifying divine ability to deviate from its direction. It flew to his left. With a swoosh, the meteor shower sank and countless black holes appeared. This terrifying power shocked everyone. However, everyone's expression was extremely strange. Even the people from Wushuang City were stunned. The people from Thunder God City were also stupefied. What was going on? That place was very far away from Lin Xian. Even if there was an impact, it would only be the aftermath of the energy. It wouldn't be able to injure him. Panma was also stunned. What happened? How could he miss? Lin Xian pretended to be afraid. He heaved a sigh of relief. Aya, what a terrifying power. I didn't expect you to be a hidden expert. However, your eyesight doesn't seem to be very good. You can actually miss at such a close distance. I have to say, I really admire you. Lin Xian looked worried and scared. Then he looked very impressed. This made Panma so angry that he almost vomited blood. Damn it! He roared, and the purple lightning Aquarius attacked again. However, these attacks also missed. Lin Xian just stood there and waved his finger. Those light laws left his body as if they were deliberately avoiding him. In the starry sky around him, various black holes appeared as if they were going to devour the world. What's going on? Everyone was stunned. Lin Xian smiled. Seems like your eyesight is really bad. Damn it, how is this possible? Panma was also stunned. My eyesight is bad. What kind of joke is this? Even if I'm blind, it's impossible for me to miss just by using my soul. What's going on? The elder from Thunder God City asked. Pan Ma said, I don't know how strange this kid is. I'll try to get closer. He quickly flew forward. The purple fire Aquarius in his hand flickered with terrifying light. Buzz! Lin Xian punched out. The great dragon sword spirit let out a resonant roar as it punched out, causing the heavens and earth to shatter. With a bang, the purple flaming bottle was shattered. Not good. Pan Ma's expression changed drastically. He wanted to retreat, but the punch was too sudden. Furthermore, he was closing the distance between him and his opponent. He was completely unprepared. In a hurry, his treasured vase was shattered, and he could only use his hands to block in front of him. The precepts of fire and the precepts of thunder intertwined on his arms like two heavenly shields, trying to block the punch. With a boom, he felt as if a huge mountain had crashed into him. Then his arm was directly broken and twisted in a strange position. Not only that, but the power wasn't done yet. It rushed directly into his body. His internal organs were all shattered. His body also caved in and many large cracks appeared. Lin Xian withdrew his hand. He stood there, an expanse of primal chaos in front of him. Natural laws pervaded the air, leaving one shaken. The surrounding people were stunned. They didn't expect Lin Xian to suddenly make a move. Moreover, it was such a powerful blow. He crippled a hidden expert on the opposite side. Your eyesight is really bad. You don't even know how to dodge such a big fist. Lin Xian said indifferently, What's going on? The surrounding people went crazy. The elders of Wushuang City heaved a sigh of relief. It seemed that they were overthinking. This kid was much smarter than they thought. Did he win? One punch. The people of Water Sky City were shocked. Shi Bufan's hair stood on end. He was also a close combat expert, but that punch just now made him feel as if he was facing a great enemy. Fortunately, he wasn't Lin Xian's opponent, but his companion. Big brother Lin Xian is amazing. Xin Jingqiu cheered. On the opposite side, in the ruins, Pan Ma stood up with difficulty. At this moment, there were still large cracks on his body. Although they were healing, it was still a shocking sight, especially half of his body, which was dyed red with blood. His face was even more ferocious. Damn kid, you tricked me. He wasn't a fool. He naturally knew that the other party had hidden his strength before. When he was careless, the other party launched a surprise attack. As expected, he fell into the trap. Lin Xian laughed. Since you want to play, I'll naturally play with you. However, it's a bit too much to say that I'm sinister. Didn't you want to use the same method to deal with me? Damn it. Pan Ma's pupils shrank. The faces of the people of Thunder God City instantly darkened. Their plan was completely exposed in front of the other party. Not only that, the other party actually beat them at their own game and seriously injured one of their geniuses. Damn it, this kid is really too despicable. At this moment, the people of Thunder God City felt that they were slapped in the face. Pan Ma, come back. Since you're already exposed, it's useless to continue fighting. Pan Ma was unwilling. However, when he moved his body, all his internal organs were bleeding from pain. He knew that he was injured and couldn't continue fighting. With a dark face, he returned to the camp. Lin Xian asked indifferently, Does your Thunder God City still have anyone to teach? If not, then I'll go back. We still have to continue with our initiation ceremony. Lin Xian looked like he was about to leave. No, the people of Thunder God City were anxious. It was not easy to get the other party to come out. How could they give up this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity? Since the conspiracy didn't work, then let's do it openly. Elder, let me go. Lei Chong couldn't bear it anymore. Without waiting for the elder to speak, he directly rushed over. The people of Thunder God City wanted to stop him, but it was already too late. The surroundings were in an uproar. Lei Chong wanted to go himself? Heavens, isn't this too inconceivable? Lin Wuti definitely wouldn't fight. That was for sure. Lei Chong wasn't a newcomer, but a disciple of the previous generation. Moreover, his strength was shocking. A fifth firmament saint. That kid couldn't possibly jump 2 levels to fight. Kid, do you dare to fight with me? I'll let you use one hand. Lei Chong descended from the sky, looking down at Lin Xian. It's you. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. You, who lost to me, still have the face to challenge me? Previously in the Eastern Tomb World, I defeated you with one move. Lin Xian's voice spread out, causing an uproar. What? Lei Chong was defeated by him. Defeated in one move. Impossible, right? Everyone went crazy. Lei Chong was in existence, even more terrifying than Di Ling. Moreover, his divine abilities were incomparably terrifying. Those older powerhouses were not his match. However, he was actually defeated by Lin Wuti. This Lin Wuti was too heaven-defying, right? Impossible. That Lin Wuti must be bragging. That's right, this was a provocation. He was deliberately provoking the other party. Some people did not believe it. However, there were also some older powerhouses who sucked in a breath of cold air. It was very likely to be true. Did you forget that Lei Chong directly challenged Lin Wuti the moment he arrived? There was no enmity between the two sides. Why would he challenge him? When these words came out, those who did not believe it also felt their scalps tingle. Indeed, this possibility was very high. They really could not believe that a third firmament saint could defeat a fifth firmament saint in one move. Chapter 3709. Lei Chong was enraged when he heard that. Lightning surged all over his body. Kid, you're talking nonsense. I was careless when you used poison. Everyone was in an uproar when they heard that. Could it be that Lei Chong had really lost to Lin Fan before? An expert should admit defeat. There's no such thing as carelessness. Lin Xian shook his head. You don't have a good mentality. If I defeat you again this time, will you vomit blood? For your own safety, you'd better step down. He waved his hand impatiently. Lei Chong was so angry that he gritted his teeth and white smoke came out of his nose. Say that after you defeat me. He turned into a bolt of lightning and rushed over. So fast. Before anyone could see clearly, Lei Chong had already arrived beside Lin Xian. Not good. The expressions of the Peerless City elders changed drastically. Lei Chong doesn't know the rules. Some of the second-generation disciples were about to attack, but at that moment Lin Xian roared. I'm not afraid of you. His voice shook heaven and earth. The laws of the 5 forms rushed out from his body and collided with the opponent's lightning. A terrifying explosion shook the 9 heavens and 10 lands. Many people were dazed and almost fainted. Some people even knelt on the ground in fear. The surrounding onlookers retreated crazily. It was not that there had never been a battle between geniuses before, but it was so thrilling. The moment the 2 of them attacked, they could not withstand it. There's no need to attack first. That kid should be able to do it. Fu Hongya said. The second-generation disciples of Peerless City were stunned. Can he really fight against them? They did not quite believe it. In front of them, Lei Chong attacked with his ultimate move. The terrifying aura of lightning trembled. The sharp sword in his hand swept in all directions. Lin Xian used his fists and legs. Every kick caused the earth to shatter, and every punch caused heaven and earth to shake. He smashed onto the sword chi, causing the sword chi to be blown away. None of them could get close to his body. The 2 of them were extremely fast. Wherever they passed, the void would constantly crack. None of them were intact, as expected of a 5th heaven sage. He's too strong. The geniuses were also shocked. Shi Bufan, Jitue, Tiancheng, and the rest looked as if they were facing a great enemy. They felt that they had no chance of winning against Lei Chong. Di Ling also felt his blood run cold. If he didn't send out the ancient corpse, he probably wouldn't be Lei Chong's opponent. However, what made them even more terrified was that Lin Xian was actually able to contend with someone like Lin Xian. not falling into a disadvantageous position. It was really too shocking. Was this the strength of the number one? Was this the battle prowess of the chief disciple? It was really too shocking. At this moment, all the suspicions he had towards Lin Xian had disappeared without a trace. He was like a tyrannosaurus in human form. His opponent was too strong, so strong that even Lei Chong's face was filled with shock. He didn't hold back. With his combat strength, he could contend with a fifth-layer saint in the middle stage. But now a third-layer saint was actually locked in a battle with him. He felt humiliated. Damn it. Go to hell. Lei Chong roared. His palm was filled with laws, forming a lightning cane. He slammed it down. It enveloped Lin Xian below. Lin Xian was still not afraid. His 9-yang divine body shone brightly, and the black Qilin tattoo on his body stopped roaring. With his strong physique, he faced the lightning palm head-on. No way. Why didn't he dodge? Many people's eyes widened when they saw this scene. Even the experts of the older generation felt their scalps go numb. In the face of such a shocking attack, they had no choice but to temporarily avoid it. But now Lin Wudi actually faced it head-on. Was his physique that strong? Wushuang City's people were worried. The Rain Clan's people were ferocious. Great. This kid is an idiot. Let him die. The Thunder God City's people were also roaring. This kid was too arrogant. In their opinion, the opponent's combat strength was strong, but his defense couldn't keep up. This was a fifth-layer saint's attack. If the opponent was hit head-on, he would definitely be torn apart. Boom! The sound of the earth shaking could be heard. The lightning palm fell down fiercely, completely enveloping Lin Xian. Ha! The Rain Clan's people and the Thunder God City's people all laughed happily. Lei Chong also had a sinister look. Had he finally dealt with his opponent personally? However, he soon realized that something was wrong. His thunderous palm had been torn apart, and a figure had charged out from it. He broke through. How was this possible? Everyone was stunned. Lei Chong was dumbfounded. The Rain Clan's people were ashen. Even the Wushuang City's people were stunned. Before this, they were really worried about Lin Xian. But now, it seemed that their worries were unnecessary. Lin Xian's physique was not inferior to a fifth-layer saint. Kill! Lin Xian's left hand clenched into a fist. His right hand slashed out with the sword of law, and a terrifying sword qi swept across the world. Lei Chong was forced to retreat again and again. Lei Chong roared, "Get lost!" He opened his hands, and lightning slowly rolled down, forming a sea of lightning. Lin Xian retreated. His body was trembling, but he wasn't injured. The strength of his physique was beyond everyone's imagination. Thunder God's finger. Lei Chong launched another attack. He finally used the Thunder God's transformation, an extremely terrifying divine ability. This was a powerful divine ability, Thunder God's finger. The Thunder God's law filled the sky. The void split open, and a lightning finger with mysterious patterns fell from the sky, pointing at Lin Xian's body. Not good. This is a peerless divine ability. Many people cried out in alarm. The Thunder God City's people clenched their fists. Is he finally using his divine ability? The Wushuang City's people became nervous again. They had to treat this divine ability seriously. Buzz! Lin Xian coldly snorted. Golden light burst out from his eyes, turning into a Qilin shield, blocking in front of him. The Thunder God's finger collided with the black shield, and a shocking sound rang out. The void shattered, and the sound spread out in all directions. Could it be blocked? Everyone was shocked. In the next moment, they found that it was blocked. What kind of shield was that? Was it a saint tool? It didn't seem like it. It was a divine ability he created. Everyone was stunned. Wasn't this divine ability too terrifying? It was an eye technique. Shui Tian Chen's pupils shrank. He was too shocked. He was an eye technique expert, so he could naturally feel the aura of the Qilin shield. He also knew how to use an eye technique to defend himself. However, compared to Lin Xian's Qilin shield, it was too weak. This guy not only had a strong physique, but his soul was also extremely terrifying. Lei Chong was thoroughly enraged. His black wind danced wildly, and his eyes were like lightning. The laws on his body were constantly rushing out. Apart from that, he also used the wind and metal god's law. The three great laws were used together. It was incomparable. At this moment, everyone was shocked. This Lei Chong was too strong. However, after a long battle, Lei Chong kept vomiting blood. One of his arms was even destroyed. Chapter 37:10. Lin Xian was even more powerful. His combat strength had reached the extreme. The great dragon sword spirit roared, causing Lin Xian's every move to be extremely powerful. Lei Tsong was constantly vomiting blood. With another long roar, Lin Xian turned into a sword light. He was like a dragon or a qilin as he traversed through the sky. He directly tore Lei Tsong into pieces. Everyone was dumbfounded. Being injured and being torn apart were two different concepts. Being injured might be a minor injury, but having one's body explode was definitely a serious injury. Sure enough, the people from Thunder God City could no longer remain calm. Lin Wudi's strength was beyond their expectations. Damn it, I'm going to kill you. Lei Chong was completely enraged. He couldn't tolerate being injured by an ant. Lightning intertwined on his body as he took out a whip. Flames were dancing on it, and it could burn everything. Many people screamed. This weapon was definitely a sacred weapon. Buzz! The sacred weapon, blazing divine whip, lashed out in all directions, shattering the void. Lei Chong's power rose again. Damn it! Despicable! You actually used a sacred weapon. The people from Peerless City roared crazily. This Lei Chong was a level 5 celestial level. Did he need to use a sacred weapon to deal with a level 3 celestial level? This was simply too shameless. The people from Thunder God City also lost face. It was no longer a matter of victory or defeat, but they were completely humiliated. One had to know that there was a difference of 2 realms between the two sides. Logically speaking, they should be able to kill in one move. But now they were actually defeated. Moreover, they were forced to use a sacred weapon. If they still couldn't win, then they would really lose face. Elder, don't we need to stop him? The people from Thunder God City asked. They were very worried. There was no need. Lei Chong was already angry. With his means and the sacred weapon, he could definitely win. That kid shouldn't be able to hold on for long. In their minds, how could a level 3 celestial level sage have such power? He must have taken some kind of pill in advance. Did he use a sacred weapon? Lin Xian also narrowed his eyes. How could he not have a sacred weapon? He had more than one saint artifact in his hand. However, he did not use anything else. Instead, he drew the unparalleled sword from his waist. This was the saint artifact that he had just obtained. It was also a symbol of his status. I'll use the unparalleled sword to defeat you. Lin Xian held the long sword in his hand as sword intent erupted from his body. Streaks of dragon-shaped sword qi danced in the sky, tearing the world apart. At this moment, he was truly like a sword god, attacking powerfully. Why do I feel that he has become even stronger than before? Everyone's hearts were pounding as they watched. This kid couldn't be a peerless swordsman, right? Everyone was shocked. Following that, they discovered that, as expected, Lin Xian's every strike was extremely powerful. After 5 strikes, the raging Inferno Divine Whip was sent flying. One of Lei Chong's arms was cut off. After another 3 slashes, Lei Chong's head was chopped off. Defeated, Lei Chong was seriously injured by someone again. Everyone was shocked. The ones who had been defeated before weren't that strong. However, after bringing out his sacred artifact, Lei Tsong was defeated even faster. Do you still want to fight? Lin Xian asked. Lei Chang's arm and head flew back and reconnected. His face was extremely dark. His body was fuming with anger. He couldn't do anything to the other party. Ah! He roared to the sky, his lungs bursting with anger. At the back, the elders of Thunder God City saw this scene and also said, Lei Chong, come back quickly. They could see that Lei Chong was no match for the other party. Although they didn't know what was going on, they would only be humiliated if they continued to fight. Lin Xian also waved his hand and said, I've already said that you're no match for me. Previously, in the East Spirit world, you couldn't beat me. It's funny that you still want to fight. Now you know how powerful I am. I advise you to go back quickly if you don't want to die. Sigh. Why is it so difficult to find an opponent? Lin Xian sighed, looking like a lonely expert. This scene made Lei Chong so angry that he was about to collapse. The others also looked strange and wanted to go up and kick him a few times. Let me see how strong you are. On Thunder God City's side, another person walked over. Lin Xian frowned. He could see that this person's strength was about the same as Lei Chong's. When he came, the other party's elder secretly stuffed a few things. It should be a sacred tool. Damn it. Do these guys really think that I'm easy to bully? They still want to fight with me? His face darkened. He was thinking whether he should be a little ruthless and directly kill one or two of them here to intimidate them. It would also let everyone know that he, Lin Xian, was not someone who could be bullied by just anyone. The people of Wushuang City also frowned. They felt that it was not good to continue like this. Perhaps someone had some powerful trump cards. If they hurt Lin Xian, it would be really bad. They decided to make a move. At this time, a stream of light came from afar. At the same time, a cold snort sounded. Thunder God City was really shameless. They challenged one after another. How many sacred tools did they bring this time? The voice sounded between heaven and earth. Everyone was in an uproar. The people of Thunder God City changed their faces. Who dares to slander our Thunder God City? Go to hell! An elder shouted coldly and attacked the stream of light with his palm. However, that light figure dodged and turned into a woman. Thunder God City, you dare to make a move against me? Do you want to die? This voice was incomparably arrogant. It made everyone's scalp numb. There was actually someone who did not put Thunder God City in his eyes. Who was it? Thunder God City was also angry. They were already very sullen today. They were actually beaten up by someone. Now, there was someone who dared to go against them. That elder also stood out. Who is it? You don't know life from death. Get over here. He was incomparably powerful. He wanted to kill this arrogant person with a slap. I'm right here. Come over and try to touch me. The voice rang out again. At this moment, everyone turned their heads to look. They saw a beautiful woman standing there. Her jade face was incomparably cold. Her pair of phoenix eyes were filled with biting, cold-killing intent. That elder laughed sinisterly and was about to make a move. However, he was stunned in the next moment, because he saw something on that girl's body. It was a jade pendant. At the same time, his scalp went numb. It's you. He was so frightened that his body trembled. He quickly cupped his fist. So it was Fairyly. This old man's mouth was cheap. Slap him. He did not dare to say anything else. Instead, he directly retreated. The others were even more stunned. F***CK. Who was this girl? She could actually make an elder of Thunder God City so afraid. Some disciples of Thunder God City were unconvinced and wanted to go up. They felt that the girl was very young. She was only in her 20s. What qualifications did she have to be arrogant? However, the elder of Thunder God City was so angry that he vomited blood. All of you, shut up. Get over here. Do you want to die? The elder of Thunder God City secretly transmitted his voice. He was the little princess of divine Silkworm Ridge. Her father was a sage king. What? Everyone's scalp went numb. Someone from divine Silkworm Ridge. Moreover, her father was a sage king. Her identity was so big that it was frightening. It was no wonder that the other party did not place their Thunder God City in their eyes at all. In fact, even their elders had to be respectful toward them. These martial artists of Thunder God City did not dare to be presumptuous anymore and retreated one by one. This scene caused the others to be even more shocked. They were all curious. What was the identity of this young girl? Chapter 37:11. When Di Ling saw this woman, his body trembled as well. Fear appeared in his eyes. Damn it, it's her. He subconsciously took a few steps back. The elders of Spirit Sealing Star beside him asked, "What's going on? Do you know her?" Di Ling gritted his teeth. His face was cold, but he didn't say anything. He recalled the terrifying experience. In the 1 month in East Spirit World, he was chased by this woman. She was too strong. He was chased all over the world. If he didn't have the ancient bronze corpse, he would have died in there. But even so, his ancient bronze corpse was still smashed into pieces. "It's you." Lin Xian was stunned. Wasn't this Li Hongxiu? He had met her in East Spirit World before. They were plotted against, and then she went to kill Di Ling. He didn't expect her to appear here again. Moreover, he felt that this woman wasn't simple. She didn't put Thunder God City in her eyes. Her identity was frightening. "You're not bad. You're actually the chief disciple." Li Hongxiu looked at Lin Xian and said with a smile. Lin Xian was surprised. "Why are you here?" Li Hongxiu said, "I heard that Wushuang City had an entrance ceremony. I thought it was fun, so I came to take a look." In the distance, the elders of Wushuang City quickly came over and cupped their hands. "Greetings, little princess divine silkworm." "All right, no need for so many rules." Li Hongxiu cupped her hands. She didn't seem to like this title. Lin Xian was surprised. Heavens! Did the elders of Wushuang City have to bow? What was the origin of this woman? In the distance, Shui Tianqin, Bufan, and the others were shocked. They didn't expect Lin Xian to know such a terrifying person. Xin Jingqiu gritted her teeth. There was a trace of jealousy in her eyes. In the surroundings, the experts of the other sects were even more terrified. The elders of the 2 holy cities treated her with respect. This was enough to explain the problem. Especially the Rain Clan. They were so scared that they were trembling. Damn it, why? Why did that kid have such a terrifying person by his side? They were about to go crazy. Why did the ant that they looked down on exceed their imagination time and time again? Yu Shichia's face was also full of despair. To be honest, she was about to collapse. Previously, although Lin Xian had saved her, she did not take it to heart because she felt that her future husband would definitely be favored by the heavens. At the very least, the Imperial Mausoleum was like this. Therefore, even if the family really wanted to do something back then, she would not have taken a fancy to Lin Xian. But now, she wanted nothing more than to slap herself. The spirit of the mausoleum was very strong. In the end, he was still eliminated. And the man that she had looked down on was now incomparably dazzling. Even Shen Jingqiu, who used to be as famous as her, was now far ahead of her. Now, there was a peerless beauty that even frightened the elders of the holy city. Furthermore, this beauty had a mysterious relationship with Lin Xian. How could she not be shocked? Lin Xian, come back. Let's finish the entrance ceremony first. Then I'll lead you back to Peerless City, the elder of Wushuang City said. Lin Xian nodded, then looked at Li Hongxiu. I still have business to attend to, so I won't accompany you. He followed the elder and stood back. The entrance ceremony continued. Li Hongxiu walked over and watched from the side. She had thought that it would be fun, but now it seemed that it was just some red tape that was not very interesting. The second-generation disciples of Peerless City were also shocked. They were all guessing who this person was. Wasn't he too bold? There were even some people who were not convinced. At this moment, Fu Hongya walked over. You're really a troublesome little ancestor. I'll recommend you 2 fun worlds. Why don't you go and explore them? Li Hongxiu glanced at Fu Hongya. The two seemed to be very familiar with each other. She shook her head. Forget it, you lunatic. The places you go are all places with fierce battles. I'm not going. Moreover, I recently found a very interesting person. I think he can stir up the second astral realm. She looked at Lin Xian with a strange light in her eyes. Fu Hongya also nodded and said aright. I have the same idea too. Junior brother Lin might really be able to stir up a storm. It's time to change some things. Why? Do you want to be on the list? Actually, I also want to be on the list. However, I'm still a little short. I need some opportunities. That place will soon be open. When I go to that place, I'll make a breakthrough. Li Hongxiu said. Fu Hongya said, I've already been to the place you're talking about. I don't plan to be on the list you're talking about. That list is meaningless to me. As for the higher ranking list, it's just a ranking. The most important thing is one's strength. Even if I don't get on the list, I can still laugh at the world. Oh, you people from Peerless City are really... Li Hongxiu did not know what to say. Fu Hongya said, why don't you just say it? How should I put it? As for your 2 head disciples, that Linghu Chueshua is a sword fanatic. You're also a cultivation maniac. You only want to improve your strength. You don't even fight for the important lists. Peerless City's reputation is not very high outside. This has a lot to do with you. You're right about this. Fu Hongya did not want to refute. They were all focused on Dao. They didn't really want to fight for the opportunity to show their faces on the important rankings. Therefore, he said, Isn't junior brother Lin coming? He'll fight for the things that we don't fight for. Is that so? You're quite good at reading people. There's nothing wrong with that. Once the name Linwudi is released, people will come to him personally even if he doesn't want to fight for it. Linwudi is indeed an arrogant name. I wanted to beat him up the first time I heard it. The disciples of Peerless City were shocked as they watched the 2 of them chatting. She was definitely a terrifying woman to be able to chat with their second-generation chief disciple for so long. On the other side, Lin Xian and the others had completed the complicated entrance ceremony. They were now the 3rd-generation disciples of Peerless City. Next, the elders of Peerless City gave them about an hour to gather with their families. Some of them might have already entered the sacred city and would be in seclusion for a long time. These people all returned to their families and began the 1-hour gathering. On Lin Xian's side, there were no clans or clans. However, there were countless experts and clans flocking over. I have a treasure here for Lin Gongzi. I hope you won't treat me as an outsider. Lin Gongzi, this is my granddaughter. She's a good maid. You can take her with you and use her as a maid. Lin Gongzi, this is a divine sword for you. Voices rang out one after another. These people were all here to deliver treasures, but to be more precise, they were here to suck up to Lin Xian. Chapter 37:12. These people were more than the total number of people who went to the Rain Clan, Spirit Sealing Star, and Fiend Star. It couldn't be helped. The current Lin Xian was like the sun in the sky, extremely dazzling. There were even some minor saints who came, shocking everyone. Such existences had very high statuses. Could it be that they also wanted to rope in Lin Xian? Sure enough, these minor saints also extended some olive branches, wanting to build a good relationship with Lin Xian. There were even some who wanted to make friends with the mysterious girl Li Hongxiu through Lin Xian. It could be said that at this moment, Lin Xian's limelight overshadowed everything. Lin Xian accepted all the treasures given to him without hesitation. Everyone knew how to put on a show. Lin Xian chatted very enthusiastically with these people, making them ecstatic. That's great. Next, Lin Xian walked forward again. Everyone followed. Soon, they saw that Lin Xian had actually arrived in front of the Rain Clan. The people of the Rain Clan were shocked. Although they couldn't wait to kill Lin Xian, they didn't dare to do so. The patriarch of the Rain clan had come personally. Lin Gongzi, what matter do you have to ask for advice? Oh, nothing. I just came to take a look. Lin Xian said indifferently. He didn't say anything special. On the other hand, the people of the Rain clan felt even more pressure because countless gazes were gathered on them. The patriarch of the Rain clan gritted his teeth and said hurriedly, "We also prepared a generous gift to congratulate Lin Gongzi." He took out a storage ring and handed it over. This thing was originally prepared for Di Ling because, in their opinion, Di Ling was definitely the chief disciple. They wanted to build a good relationship between both sides. Now, they didn't expect that this thing would be given to Lin Xian. Lin Xian was their enemy, but they had no choice but to lower their heads. "All right, thank you." Lin Xian accepted it with a smile. Next, he went to the Fiend Star and Wind Spirit Star. The people of these two worlds were also forced to take out some gifts. Lin Xian returned from a rewarding journey. The people of Thunder God City retreated. They left with shock and unwillingness. They knew that today's matter would definitely become the laughingstock of everyone. However, they swore that this matter was not over. There would be plenty of time in the future. The blow they received here would definitely be returned in other places. There was also Lin Wudi. They would remember that. They would not let this person grow. On Lin Xian's side, they gathered once again and teleported to Matchless City. After entering Wushuang City, they were welcomed. Soon, someone led them to their respective areas. The hundreds of ordinary disciples had their own areas, while the 49 core disciples had their own areas. The place where Lin Xian lived was very good. Top-grade spirit veins occupied a large area. It was like a small kingdom, and Lin Xian was the king of this hell. He could mobilize anyone in this region and use any resources he wanted. Not only that, because he was the chief disciple, his identity in the entire Matchless City was not ordinary. The resources he could enjoy were really amazing. He could even read some ancient books and secret techniques. Shin Jingqiu's cave was next to Lin Xian's. It was also magnificent. After all, she was the second most promising disciple to become a Saint King. In addition, there was also Water Sky City, Shibufan, Wang Xiaofeng, and others nearby. They could be said to be neighbors. Brother Lin. Shen Jingqiu immediately flew over after dealing with her own matters, because she was afraid that the purple-haired girl would snatch Lin Xian away. When she arrived, she found that there was only Lin Xian in the cave. Where was that woman? Shen Jingqiu asked vigilantly. "Oh, you mean Li Hongxiao? She went somewhere else. She probably went to find Fu Hongya. That woman has a great background. I can't go to some forbidden areas, but she can. What is her identity?" Shen Jingqiu was also curious. At this moment, a few figures walked over from afar. It was Shui Chen, Shibufan, Wang Xiaofeng, and the others. They were also here to visit Lin Xian. After all, Lin Xian would be their eldest senior brother in the future, and they still needed Lin Xian to take care of them. Moreover, they also wanted to befriend him. At this moment, when they heard Shen Jingqiu's question, they were also curious. After meeting their eldest senior brother, they first asked, "Yes, senior brother Lin, what is that woman's identity?" Lin Xian said, "I don't know the details. I only know that our elder calls her Little Princess Divine Silkworm." Little Princess Divine Silkworm. Could it be that she was from the Divine Silkworm Ridge? Shui Tiancheng exclaimed. Si Impatient was also surprised. Even Shin Jingqiu was shocked. Lin Xian asked, "You know?" The few of them nodded. They knew that Lin Xian came from the first astral realm, but he might not know about some of the top forces and legends of the second astral realm. He said, "If we guessed correctly, the Little Princess Divine Silkworm should be referring to the Divine Silkworm Ridge." The Divine Silkworm Ridge was very terrifying. It was a clan that had produced an ancient emperor. It was on par with the Dragon Clan, the Qilin Clan, and the Phoenix Clan. So powerful? Lin Xian was surprised. A clan that had produced an ancient emperor was an emperor clan. Thinking about it, this should be a bloodline of the emperor clan. However, this was also very shocking. No wonder the elders of the holy city had to be respectful when they saw her. Indeed, her background was terrifying. The few of them chatted. Not long after, a second-generation disciple came over and invited Lin Xian and the others to comprehend Wu Shuang's secret technique. Lin Xian and the others were extremely excited. They didn't expect to be able to comprehend Wu Shuang City's secret technique so soon after they arrived. Everyone followed the second-generation disciple and went forward. Wu Shuang City was very big. After flying for about half an hour, they arrived at their destination. This was a place that had been transformed. The mountains had been flattened, and it was a vast plain. On the plain, there were palaces and pavilions. There weren't many of them, but Lin Xian could see that there was a huge array protecting this place. This should be a place where divine abilities were stored. Lin Xian and the others were led into a hall. There were many ancient books inside that recorded divine abilities. They were very terrifying. There were also some secret techniques that Lin Xian and the others could read here. Of course, the most important thing was the core of Wu Shuang City, the Wu Shuang secret technique. This was a secret technique that only Wu Shuang City had. This was a special technique that could increase one's combat strength in a short period of time. It was an unparalleled attack. Everyone was incomparably surprised, especially Lin Xian. His great dragon sword soul specialized in attacking saint techniques. Therefore, although his realm was low, his combat strength was strong. He was even stronger than an ordinary fifth heaven saint. He didn't expect that he would be able to learn Wu Shuang's secret technique now. However, when he saw Wu Shuang's secret technique, he realized that there was still a difference between the two. The great dragon sword soul allowed Lin Xian's every move and move to be far more powerful than those of the same level. It wasn't a problem for him to even fight against those of a higher level. And this Wu Shuang's secret technique was even more magical. It could allow one to instantly erupt with strength that was several times stronger than before. Of course, it was only for an instant. Chapter 37:13. However, this was already enough. One had to know that in a battle between experts, what they competed for was half a move. If one could win with another move, then the advantage would be huge. It was even rumored that the unparalleled secret technique could unleash 10 times more combat power than oneself. Of course, the duration was even shorter. It was said that the unparalleled secret technique was incomplete. It was modified by countless saints, but it was already very terrifying. This was the foundation of the holy city. Lin Xian and the others were wild with joy. If they could learn this secret technique, then they would definitely have a very powerful trump card. Lin Xian could use it together with the great dragon sword soul. Xin Jingqiu was also happy. She could also use this unparalleled secret technique together with her spirit body. Shi Sui Tiancheng and the others were also very excited. Everyone couldn't wait to cultivate and comprehend. Just like that, half a year passed. On this day, Lin Xian opened his eyes. His body was already covered in dust. The moment he opened his eyes, all the dust had disappeared. He stood up with a look of surprise. He had already grasped the initial stage of this unparalleled secret technique. The elders of Peerless City were shocked. You really grasped the initial stage? How long has it been? Half a year, and he has already grasped it? One had to know that not to mention half a year, it was already very impressive to grasp it in 8 to 10 years. This was called a secret technique. Was this kid a monster? Or was he bragging? Elder, I really grasped it, and it's only the initial stage. There's no need to be so shocked. Lin Xian scratched his head. He had indeed grasped the initial stage because he had the great dragon sword soul. This kind of offensive saint technique could be said to be handy when practicing the unparalleled secret technique. The elders of Peerless City didn't believe it and wanted Lin Xian to demonstrate. When Lin Xian activated 5 times his combat power, this elder looked as if he had seen a ghost. Heavens, did he really grasp it? This movement also woke Xin Jingqiu and the others up. When they learned about it, they were also shocked. To be honest, they had only grasped a little bit of it, but Lin Xian had already grasped the initial stage. The gap was too big. You cultivate here first. I have some things to do first, Lin Xian explained. He was indeed preparing to leave. He wanted to go to a place, and that was the Fiend Star. He hadn't forgotten that the Crimson Dragon and the North Demon were trapped on the malevolent planet. He was going to save them now. Brother Lin, where are you going? Is going too. Xin Jingqiu was reluctant to part with him. The place I'm going to is very far away. If you want to cross the fog of death, you should cultivate here first. Don't worry, I'm not in any danger. Xin Jingqiu nodded obediently. Shui Tianchen and the others were shocked. What was Lin Xian trying to do? Was he going back to the first astral boundary? Even the elders from Wushuang City frowned. You've just arrived at Saint City, so you should hurry up and cultivate. After a few years, he would go out again. I can't wait any longer. Elder, I have some friends who are trapped on the Fiend Star. I have to save them. Fiend Star? Elder Wushuang was astonished. It was too dangerous to go to that kind of place. No, I have to report this. Wait here first. He went to make the announcement, and soon someone came. The person who came was Fu Hongye. Junior brother Lin, you're going to the Fiend Star? Fu Hongye asked. Lin Xian nodded. My friends are there. I have to save them. All right, I won't stop you. Take this. Fu Hongye took out a token. It was a silver token with a demon's face drawn on it. What was this? Lin Xian was shocked. Fu Hongye said that he had saved someone in the past, and that person went to the Fiend Star. He was indebted to me, so he gave me this token. When the time comes, take this token and find someone called Ah Kuan. He can help you. Thank you, senior brother. Lin Xian took the silver token and said goodbye to everyone. He left Wushuang City. Lin Xian entered the Black Earth and flew at full speed. He couldn't wait. He wondered how the Crimson Dragon and the North Demon were doing on the Fiend Star. With their talent and strength, they should be able to do well on the Fiend Star. On the other side, the families had all returned. The matter of Wushuang City quickly spread throughout the second astral realm. Lin Xian, Lin Wudi's name, spread like wildfire. Everyone knew that Wushuang City had accepted such a powerful chief disciple. He was only at the 3rd celestial realm, but he had defeated a 5th celestial realm genius. Countless people exclaimed in shock. Lei Xinqing's expression was ugly. They had really lost this time. They had lost face. The Rain clan's faces were ashen. They had provoked such a powerful enemy. Moreover, their young master Qinya had died inside. After returning to the clan, the Rain clan's people gritted their teeth. That damned Lin Wudi. Those elders also said that they suspected that young Master Chinya's death was related to Lin Wudi. But what could they do? The other party was now the chief disciple of Wushuang City. They were no match for him. Reporting to the Patriarch, the people from D-Ling and Spirit Sealing Star have arrived. Outside, a disciple reported. Once these words were spoken, the entire Rain clan was shocked. Where are they? The Rain clan's Patriarch quickly asked. They were outside. The Rain clan's Patriarch exclaimed. Quickly invite them in. Soon, a few figures walked in. They were the elders of Spirit Sealing Star. Apart from them, there was also D-Ling. I wonder why you guys are here. Please have a seat. The Rain clan's Patriarch said with a smile. The other elders also had respectful looks on their faces. We are here to join hands. I am going to join hands to kill Lin Wudi. The moment D-Ling spoke, everyone was shocked. Kill Lin Wudi. Those elders' hearts were beating wildly. There were also some who were overjoyed. Great, this Lin Wudi was too arrogant. He actually dared to plot against our young master. The elders of Yu Qianye's lineage were all gnashing their teeth. They had lost such a genius. How could they swallow this anger? Di Ling said, I also want to kill him. Hence, I am here to join hands with you. The Rain clan's patriarch was also shocked. Di Ling was atop heaven's pride. Although he did not join Wushuang City, no one dared to underestimate his strength. It could only be said that his luck was bad. Otherwise, he would definitely be a core disciple. He might even fight for the position of chief disciple. It was not impossible for such a person to join hands with them. All right, we have to discuss this matter properly. The Rain clan was also prepared to join hands. Next, both sides began a long discussion. A few days later, the elders of Spirit Sealing Star returned. It seemed that they were preparing for the follow-up. However, Di Ling did not leave. He still stayed in the Rain clan. The one who received him was Yu Shirjie. This was the wish of the elders of both sides. If they could let these two young people walk together, then the two forces could be considered to have joined hands. The Rain clan also hoped for this. If Di Ling and Yu Shirjie were to marry, they would completely hug the thigh of Spirit Sealing Star. This was the best situation for now. Chapter 37:14. Yu Shirjie's heart was dead. In order to avenge her brother, she was prepared to marry Di Ling. Of course, she had a condition. Di Ling had to kill Lin Xian before she could marry him. Before that, she wouldn't let him touch her. Half a month later, there was a sudden news. There were two pieces of news. The first piece of news was that the Fiend Star had dug out something from the Void Ocean. It was incredible. Some experts from the families were preparing to go over. The other piece of news was that someone had found Lin Xian's traces. That news caused the people from the Rain clan to be incomparably shocked, especially Di Ling, whose eyes emitted a biting cold radiance. Was the news true? To be honest, they didn't believe it. How long had it been? Lin Xian had joined Wushuang City and should be in seclusion to cultivate. How could he appear outside? It should be true because many people had seen his traces. Where was he? Diwen asked. The elders of the Rain clan also had anxious expressions on their faces. The martialist below said respectfully as he knelt on the ground. He had been attacked by sea demons in the Void Ocean. Many people were affected. Among them was a black spirit boat. Lin Wudi walked out from it. Void Ocean? What was he doing in the Void Ocean? Everyone was shocked. They couldn't understand. Why didn't he cultivate in the Holy City? Why did he run out? Moreover, he was going to the Void Ocean. At this time, Yu Shirjie said, I remember. When they came from the First Star Realm, they had several companions with them. But later, when I found him, he was alone. Maybe this time, he went to find his companions. Are you sure? The elders were shocked. They had never heard of this news. Yu Shirjie nodded. It was true. He might have gone to the Fiend Star because it was the people from the Fiend Star who had attacked them. Great, now I can finally kill him. Di Ling revealed a sinister smile. The Rain clan's elders also smiled. We were planning to go to the Fiend Star anyway. Now we can catch him on the way. Young Master Di Ling, you go to the Fiend Star with Yu Shirjie and the others. We will send people to kill him on the way there. We are closer. A Rain clan's elders' eyes flashed with killing intent. Di Ling thought about it. All right, I'll have to trouble you. 3 days later, they were ready to depart. Di Ling went back to prepare. Yu Shirjie stayed behind. She asked why Di Ling didn't attack. The elders looked and set up a formation. That brat was only at the 3rd celestial layer, but he was so strong. He must have some secrets on him. We need to capture him alive and get his secrets. The eyes of these elders shone with a cold light. Yu Shirjie also understood that such a secret was definitely extraordinary. It might even cause a huge commotion. If they wanted to monopolize it, they naturally couldn't let Di-Ling do it. Okay, I got it. I will stay by Di-Ling's side for the next few days. I will not let him do anything. Yu Shijie made her decision. Everyone began to move. Lin Xian was also affected. He flew all the way to the Void Sea, but he was attacked a few days after entering the sea. It was a huge shark as big as a mountain. Its body was thousands of meters long, and it was stirring up the seawater. One of the bewilderment fog ships was attacked. Lin Xian happened to pass by and was also affected. He walked out of the Black Earth. This was also why someone was able to discover his tracks. But soon he took a detour. He didn't take the bewilderment fog ship now because his Black Earth was already a saint artifact. Moreover, he had cultivated Taiji extinction. He didn't fear the fog of the Sea of Death. He could enter alone. Lin Xian cultivated as he flew. At the same time, there are several figures in the depths of the Void Sea. There were 6 figures in total. They were in a spirit ship, floating there as if waiting for something. Will that brat come? A middle-aged man asked with a frown in the spirit ship. He was a 5th celestial layer saint. Beside him were several others. 3 of them were 5th celestial layer saints, and 2 were little saints. Such a lineup was extremely powerful. It wouldn't be a problem for them to kill other little saints. He will definitely come. We have already set up a trail. If he wants to go to the Fiend planet, this is the place he must pass. Since he is here, we will let him know what it means to live a life worse than death. Another old man sneered sinisterly. Don't kill him. We still need his secrets. If we can get them, our Rain clan will be able to improve again. Speaking until here, these people laughed. Their eyes were shining with a piercing cold light. With such a large team, no matter how talented the brat was, he would die without a doubt. These people were from the Rain clan. After they received the news, they quickly rushed over to kill the brat. Lin Xian didn't know about this. He was cultivating at the moment with a leaf of Tao, comprehending tea in his mouth. There were many divine crystals around him. He was cultivating while comprehending the great Tao of heaven and earth. The speed of the Black Earth was very fast. Lin Xian was in a hurry. Therefore, he was like a bolt of lightning, traveling through the Void Sea. It's coming. On this day, these people of the Rain clan stood up one after another. Their eyes were shining with a piercing cold light. They could feel a spirit ship coming at them quickly. The speed was so fast that shocked them. Even the 2 little saints were surprised. Judging from its speed, it should be a saint artifact. A flying spirit ship was a saint artifact. It was really rare. This brat's body was full of treasures. Don't worry, these things will be ours soon. Prepare to attack. First, activate the formation to trap him. The 2 little saints gave the order. The other 4 5th heavenly layer saints moved quickly. They left the spirit ship and hid in the Void Sea. Then they formed seals with their palms. The formation lit up and formed a seal that sealed the Void Sea. Countless chains spread out and wrapped around the Black Earth. The Black Earth shook. Lin Xian opened his eyes. He spat out the leaf of Tao comprehending tea and put it away. Then he asked, "What's going on?" He, too, floated over and said, "We're under attack. Someone is attacking us. Is it a demonic beast?" They took a detour. Lin Xian frowned. It seemed that there were quite a lot of demonic beasts in the Void Sea. He, too, said, "It's not a demonic beast. It seems to be sealed by a formation." Formation? Boom! Lin Xian gave the order. The Black Earth shone brightly. Countless black lights appeared on its body and shattered all the chains on it. Buzz! It turned into a stream of light and crashed into the seal. With a boom, the Void Sea collapsed. The seal shook and countless cracks appeared. Damn it, it's so strong! The faces of the people of the Rain clan changed. "This spirit ship is mine." Killing intent burst out from the eyes of a little saint. Chapter 37:15. With a wave of his hand, he launched an earth-shattering attack. A huge palm pressed down on the black earth, holding it down. Brat, come out and face your death. At the same time, a roar resounded between heaven and earth. Lin Xian frowned. Without waiting for He-Tu to say anything, he came out of the black earth and looked forward. There were shadows in front of him. Their auras were monstrous. Obviously, they were experts. What was going on? Someone was attacking him. Who was it? Did they not want to live anymore? One must know. His current identity was not ordinary. But even so, there were still people attacking him. Was it someone from the Thunder God City who made a move? He first thought of Thunder God City. Perhaps only Thunder God Cheng would dare to attack him. After all, he had slapped Thunder God Cheng's face. Thunder God Cheng must be furious. It's really you. The shadow opposite him let out a surprised laugh. As he strode forward, the surrounding void and seawater surrounded him, making him look like a god of the sea. There were also people walking out from the other three directions, completely surrounding Lin Xian. Lin Xian frowned. Who are you people? He discovered that there was no lightning aura on them. Instead, there was a terrifying water energy that could even move the surrounding seawater. Are you people from the Rain Clan? He instantly thought of a clan with such power. It was the Rain Clan. However, he did not believe that the Rain Clan would be so daring to provoke him. But soon, he was sure that they were from the Rain Clan. A little saint said coldly, "Speak, brat. How did our young master, Chinya, die? Were you the one who killed him?" Sure enough, they were from the Rain Clan. Lin Xian's face was cold. You people are really courting death. You dare to provoke me? Aren't you afraid of being exterminated? Of course, we don't dare to provoke Wushuang City. But you? If you die here, no one will know. Perhaps others will think that you were killed by a powerful sea demon. Don't worry, we won't kill you immediately. We'll capture you and torture you to death. We'll make you spit out your secrets. A middle-aged man said with a sinister voice. Lin Xian glanced at him with disdain. You, brat, you're about to die, yet you're still so stubborn. This time we have 2 little saints and 4 fifth heavenly layer saints. You won't be able to escape even if you have wings. I can only say that you are too idiotic. Even if you had twice as many saints, you still wouldn't be able to do anything to me. Lin Xian was not afraid in the battlefield. He glanced around, looking for an opportunity. At the same time, he cursed in his heart. Damn it, this Rain Clan is really crazy. They actually sent 2 minor saints to kill me. He swore that he would definitely exterminate the Rain Clan. He wanted to let these people know the consequences of provoking him. Whoa. As soon as he finished speaking, Lin Xian suddenly attacked. Golden light blossomed from his body, and a dragon roar sounded. He punched at the middle-aged man from before. The middle-aged man was scared out of his wits. He wanted to retreat, but the fist was too fast. He arrived in front of the middle-aged man in an instant. With a whoosh, the middle-aged man was smashed into pieces. Ah! Miserable cries rang out, causing everyone's scalp to go numb. Damn it! How dare you! The other sages were thoroughly enraged. They had an absolute advantage now, but the other party still dared to attack, and he even dared to be ruthless. You're courting death. Take him down. Just leave him with one last breath. A minor saint gave the order, and the 3 fifth heavenly layer sages around him quickly attacked. The seawater surged and filled the sky. They took out a decree, wanting to completely seal Lin Xian. Lin Xian snorted coldly. He used the Kuan Peng movement technique, and his speed reached the extreme. He turned into a stream of light and dodged. At the same time, he threw out the Great Destruction Spear, sweeping it in all directions. Useless, kid, although you're strong. You're just a 3rd heavenly layer sage. You're not a match for us at all. The 3 fifth heavenly layer sages looked ferocious. No matter how strong the other party was, It was already very impressive that he could defeat a fifth heavenly layer sage. He still wanted to fight 3 fifth heavenly layer sages? What a joke! Unless the other party was really a young great emperor. Humph! Lin Xian snorted coldly, and a biting cold light burst out from his eyes. Blue tide surge. He launched a soul attack. The fifth heavenly layer sages quickly retreated and put up a defense. However, their souls were still impacted and their faces turned pale. Take him down. I want to break every inch of his bones. An old man roared. The 3 of them attacked again. The 2 minor saints stood there with their hands behind their backs, watching coldly. They did not make a move. They did not need to take action against a 3rd heavenly layer ant. They were only here as a precaution. However, they still underestimated Lin Xian. Lin Xian activated the void escape. He used the spatial divine ability and disappeared in a flash, appearing behind one of the old men. The great destruction spear carried the aura of the dragon soul. It pierced through the old man's head. The old man's head exploded, and his body fell. He was kicked away by Lin Xian. Ah! A miserable scream, mixed with saint blood, dyed the void sea red. The other 2 saw this scene, and their scalps went numb with fear. Soon they shouted angrily, "Kill!" The 2 of them joined forces. This time, they completely surrounded Lin Xian. They would definitely not give the other party any chance at all. When Lin Xian saw this scene, he did not retreat. Instead, he took a deep breath and activated the unparalleled secret art. His combat strength increased by 5 times in an instant. With a loud bang, this powerful attack was launched. It was like a black torrent colliding with the 2 fifth heavenly layer saints. Then the 2 fifth heavenly layer saints vomited blood and were sent flying. Their attacks were completely broken. Not only that, there were many large cracks on their bodies. How was this possible? The 2 of them were dumbfounded. They could not believe it. Damn it. What the hell is going on? Why did the opponent's strength suddenly become so strong? Lin Xian was also surprised. This power was really unexpected. It was worthy of being called the unparalleled secret art. Although it could only be used for a moment, it would not be a problem to kill these 5th heavenly layer saints if it was used well. They quickly healed and even absorbed the power of the surrounding seawater. Be careful. This kid has an eye technique and the attack power is very strange. Don't fall into his trap. It's nothing. We were just careless. Now that we are in the sea, we have an absolute natural advantage. We can display super strong combat strength. The eyes of these people burst with a piercing cold light. Their Rain clan was born for water. Kill. The 4 of them roared and attacked again. Do you think that only you know how to use water? Lin Xian snorted coldly. His expression was cold. He had the 5 elements law, which naturally included the law of water. With a wave of his arm, the surrounding seawater was all mobilized by him, turning into giant dragons. Not only that, Lin Xian also poured the power of the great dragon sword soul into these water dragons. 300 water dragons spewed out, and the entire sea was boiling. The 5th heavenly layer saints were shocked. Their faces were full of fear. Damn it! How was this possible? How could his strength be so strong? They were completely crazy. What kind of person was this? Chapter 37:16. Under the powerful attacks of Lin Xian's various divine abilities, the bodies of the 4 fifth heavenly layer saints were torn apart again. One of them was directly locked by the spring and autumn lock. His soul was shattered by Lin Xian. One of them died. They couldn't believe that the 4 of them couldn't do anything to him even when they joined forces. Then they were terrified because another one of them was seriously injured and died. The other 2 were also covered with wounds. Their scalps were numb. Grand Elder, please save us. They cried for help crazily. The 2 minor saints were also angry. How dare you? One of them shouted angrily and slapped out a big palm. The power of a minor saint was too terrifying. This palm was even more terrifying than the joint forces of 4/5 heavenly layer saints. The 6th heavenly layer saint, which was the realm of minor saints, was a watershed. The strength of a minor saint was much stronger than that of a 5th heavenly layer saint. It could be said that it was an insurmountable gap. Therefore, this was also the reason why the 2 minor saints didn't want to make a move earlier. They really didn't think highly of him, but now they were angry. The opponent was so strong that it was beyond their expectations. But that was all. They didn't think that this kid could compete with them. Lin Xian didn't take the attack head-on. He turned into a stream of light and quickly retreated to avoid the attack. He had to admit that a minor saint was very powerful. Lin Xian's face was gloomy. What was he going to do? Kill the opponent? Kid, you can't run away. You're just an ant in front of me. There's no way for you to escape. The minor saint sneered. The opponent could only dodge when he met him. This was the gap between them. But where could the opponent escape to? So today the opponent would definitely die. He attacked a few more times. Each time he brought with him a monstrous law, causing Lin Xian to keep dodging. Lin Xian quickly retreated, but the minor saint had already grabbed the black earth with one hand and sealed it. Kid, your saint artifact spirit ship is mine. Not only that, all the things and secrets on you belong to the Rain clan. The 2 little saints looked up to the sky and laughed. The other 2 Rain clan saints who were still alive also revealed hideous smiles. Great, they were going to torture the other party to death later. Lin Xian retreated again, his face grim. The little saint was still, strolling toward him. Although this little saint was an old monster that had lived for thousands of years, he looked like he was in his 30s. He was very handsome and could crush everything with a wave of his hand. He struck out with several laws, forming a cage that completely sealed off Lin Xian's path of retreat. Don't run, the game is over. Now, I will make you kneel down obediently. In the distance, the 3 saints of the Rain clan also sneered. Lin Xian's face was gloomy, but his heart was filled with killing intent. In fact, the reason he was retreating like this was to lure the enemy in and widen the gap between the 2 little saints. From the looks of it, it was about time. All right, you choose to kneel on your own, or I'll break your legs and pin you to the ground. Think about it carefully, said the young little saint. He looked high and mighty, not putting Lin Xian in his eyes at all. Lin Xian didn't dare to resist at all. He was a little saint, and the opponent probably couldn't even break his defense. Lin Xian didn't say anything, but he suddenly attacked. The great dragon's sword soul flew out and turned into a stream of light, flashing in the air. This scene was simply way too powerful. At this moment, the 9 heavens and 10 earths seemed to have lost their luster. This was a saint's skill, and now that it was being unleashed by Lin Xian with all his might, it was even more berserk to the extreme. He still dared to attack. He really didn't know what death was. The Rain clan's little saint's face sank. His opponent was just an ant. How dare he fight against him? Well, today he would let him know what despair was. He raised his palm again and slammed it forward, intending to shatter the beam of light. However, when the stream of light approached him, his expression changed. What was this? He was really shocked because he found that the chi of the light was incomparable. It seemed to be beyond his imagination. Damn it! The little saint's face was gloomy. He quickly retracted his palm and wanted to retreat at the same time. However, he found that it was too late. The speed of the sword light was too fast. It arrived in front of him in an instant and then stabbed down fiercely. Get lost! The young little saint roared and struck out with both of his palms, striking out a shocking blow. At the same time, the endless seawater combined with the law of water formed a set of true water armor, covering his body. Not good. That kid seems to have a trump card. The people in the distance also exclaimed. The other little saint snorted. It doesn't matter. So what if he has a trump card? It's just a saint weapon. With our strength, that kid can't fight against us, even if he has a saint weapon." His eyes were full of confidence. The 2/5 heaven saints breathed a sigh of relief. It would be great if that was the case. They were not afraid of anything at all. However, at this moment, a rumbling sound was suddenly heard. Endless flames soared into the sky, and terrifying sword chi roared. The place was completely submerged. What a violent aura! The 2/5 heaven saints were shocked. Even the expression of the little saint who had spoken earlier changed. He frowned. Damn it! How could it be so powerful? Although he did not care before, his eyelids were twitching wildly when he sensed the terrifying scene in front of him. His companions should be fine, right? Ah. In front of him, a miserable voice came from the chaos, which made people's scalps go numb. The hands of the little saint of the Rain Clan were shattered. Not only that, a green dragon's sword had pierced through his body. That seemed to be the voice of our Supreme Elder. The scalps of the 2/5 heaven saints went numb. The expression of the old little saint also changed drastically. It was impossible. Was his companion injured? In front of them, a gust of wind blew, and the mist was blown away. They saw an incredible scene. The palms of one of their supreme elders were shattered, and his body was penetrated by sword chi. Saint Snow dyed the sea red. How was this possible? They were stunned. That was a little saint. How could he be injured by a mere third heavenly layer ant? This was too heaven-defying. The face of the young little saint was also filled with shock. Damn it! I don't believe it. He was really shocked. He had used all his strength just now, and anyone below the little saint realm would be killed. Moreover, he had already displayed the true water battle armor. Even if his opponent was holding a saint weapon, he could still fight. This was the strength of a little saint. But now, the true water battle armor was penetrated in an instant. His body had also suffered serious injuries. Humph! A little saint is just SOSO. Do you think you can kill me? Lin Xian quickly flew in front of his opponent and grabbed the dragon-shaped sword chi. Puff! The sword slashed on his opponent's body, causing the cracks on his body to become bigger. Chapter 37:17. At the same time, he launched a violent punch. Like a meteor, it smashed on his opponent's body, producing an earth-shattering sound. Soon his arm was numb from the impact. What a strong physique! Although Lin Xian had the divine body and the Qilin tattoo, his physique was only equivalent to a 5th heavenly layer. Facing a 6th heavenly layer minor saint, his arm was numb. It's as hard as a tortoise's shell. Asterisk puff, asterisk, the young minor saint was enraged. An ant dared to be presumptuous in front of him. Damn brat, how dare you trick me? He knew that the dragon-shaped sword shadow was too powerful. Without it, his opponent wouldn't be able to break through his defense. So what if I trick you? You're just an old minor saint. Do you think it's reasonable for you to kill me? A 3rd heavenly layer minor saint? Do you think you're very proud of yourself? Today I'll slap your dog face. Lin Xian kept swinging his palms and slapping his opponent's face. Although he couldn't cause any substantial damage to his opponent, the sound of the slap was earth-shattering. Asterisk pa 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 asterisk, that man's handsome face was incomparably red. That was because he was angered. Lin Xian's arm was numb. Damn, your face is really thick. No wonder you're so shameless. Damn brat, go to hell. The young minor saint roared crazily. He endured the injury and launched a crazy counterattack. Lin Xian was startled. He activated the void escape and teleported to the other side of his opponent, dodging the attack. At the same time, he was furious. The 9-yang divine body and the Qilin tattoo triggered an unparalleled secret technique. Asterisk pung asterisk this time. He didn't know how many times the unparalleled secret technique was activated, causing his strength to skyrocket. The slap landed on the other party's face and actually caused a crack to appear. The young miner saint was stupefied. He was actually injured by a slap from the other party. How was this possible? His opponent still had such strength without the help of the dragon-shaped sword Shadow. The Rain Clan's saints were also stunned. The 2/5 heavenly layer saints opened their mouths so wide that they could swallow a stone. The other old man, a minor saint, narrowed his eyes. His companion was really injured, and severely injured at that. Damn brat, how dare you? When he saw Lin Xian slapping the other party, the old man was finally enraged. He turned into a streak of light and rushed over. Actually, everything that had happened before had happened in an instant. Thus, when the old man came back, Lin Xian had already smashed his face. Seeing that another minor saint had arrived, Lin Xian didn't resist. Instead, he rode the great dragon Sword Soul and retreated quickly. However, at this moment, he chopped off his opponent's hand and snatched the black earth. You want to snatch my saint artifact? Cultivate for another 1,000 years. After tearing open the seal on the black earth, Lin Xian entered the black earth. He quickly steered the spirit ship, turning into a black beam of light that shot into the distance. Damn it, chase after him. I must kill him. I can't let him escape. The two little saints roared crazily. This was especially true for the young little saint. He had never been humiliated like this before. He swore to himself that he would tear the other party into pieces. Both of them turned into lightning and flew away quickly. The 2/5 heavenly layer saints also regained their senses. They sucked in a breath of cold air. It was unbelievable that a third heavenly layer ant could do this. They swallowed their saliva and moved quickly to chase after them. Lin Xian steered the black earth, shuttling back and forth in the void ocean. He made a big arc. He wanted to kill the two minor saints, and he planned to use the power of the death mist. This place was very close to the death mist. Therefore, Lin Xian flew quickly. As the minor saints chased after them, the two of them pulled out two sage items. The old man took out a fan. The young little saint took out a flying knife. The two saint artifacts were shining brightly. Their speed was also extremely fast. The three of them chased after him, one in front and one behind. Finally, Lin Xian slowed down because the death mist was right in front of him. Kid, run. Why aren't you running anymore? The two minor saints stopped and grinned viciously. The young little saint's face was even more ferocious. If you keep running, I'll break every bone in your body. I'll slice off your flesh piece by piece and roast it until it's cooked. This is what you get for messing with me. He was really angry. Fortunately, the death mist was right in front of him. It could be said that the other party had no way out. Then, what awaited the other party next was endless torture. Humph! Lin Xian sneered. He had no way out? What kind of joke was this? This mist of death posed no threat to him at all. Of course, he couldn't show it now. Otherwise, it would be bad if he scared the two minor saints away. Moreover, the 2/5 heavenly layer saints didn't come. This time, he wanted to catch them all in one fell swoop. The two minor saints didn't plan to attack immediately. He wanted to let them feel the fear of death first. It would be best if they could kneel down and beg for mercy. Just like that, the 2/5 heavenly layer saints came while both sides were holding on. When they saw the death mist in front of them and Lin Xian had no way out, they were overjoyed. Great, let's see how he's going to die this time. Oh, since everyone is here, I'll send you on your way. Lin Xian's voice was heard. The faces of the 4 saints of the Rain clan darkened instantly. The scalps of the 2/5 heavenly layer saints went numb. The 2 minor saints were gnashing their teeth in anger. Could it be that the other party thought that they could still survive? That he wanted to kill them? What a joke! I'd like to see how you're going to kill me. The young little saint was surrounded by a long blade. It was accompanied by a terrifying law that tore apart heaven and earth. On the other side, the old man was also holding a folding fan, blocking the other way. It could be said that he was trapped. Lin Xian snorted coldly. With a sway of his body, he directly entered the death mist. Damn it! Does he want to die? The 2/5 heavenly layer saints were so scared that they peed their pants. Even the pupils of the 2 minor saints shrank. The other party would rather die in the death mist than be caught by them. Damn it! Don't even think about killing yourself. In their opinion, Lin Xian had no way out and was going to commit suicide. The 2 minor saints attacked fiercely. They attacked frantically, bombarding the death fog nonstop. However, all they could do was cause the death fog to spread. They couldn't see anyone inside. Damn it! Damn it! This was already the best time to hunt, but the other party would rather die than surrender. How could they be willing to let the treasure in their hands run away? These people's eyes were all red. They did not see that Zhou's fog of death was quietly surrounding them. Even if they noticed it, they didn't care. After all, they were attacking the death mist just now. However, they soon discovered that something was wrong. Why was there more and more death fog coming out? Instead, it had surrounded them. Chapter 37:18. Not good. Run. Don't let the death mist shroud you. The 2 minor saints quickly retreated. The 2/5 heavenly layer saints couldn't wait any longer and ran away like crazy. However, it was too late. A sneer came from the darkness. Do you think it's possible to run away now? Then the death mist gushed out like a demonic cloud, shrouding this part of the world. Damn it! The 2/5 heavenly layer saints screamed in fear. As soon as they touched the mist, their bodies caved in and their hair turned white. No, the 2 of them roared and opened their saint domains to resist the mist. However, it wasn't just a tiny bit. It was the death mist that covered the sky. The 2/5 heavenly layer saints couldn't resist it at all. Their vitality was sucked dry in an instant. The strong saints became withered, like dried corpses. In the end, only their bones were left. Dead. 2 saints of the 5th heaven had fallen. The 2 minor saints' faces were extremely ugly. Damn it! What's going on? Their luck had already reached such a terrible state. Not only did they not get the treasure, but they were also shrouded by the death mist. Damn it! Run! The 2 of them were minor saints with powerful strength. Moreover, they had saint weapons with them. They could hold on for a while. However, they could only hold on for a while. If it was just a small amount of the death mist, they could still resist it. But now they were in the death mist area. Not to mention them. Even if a saint came, he wouldn't be able to resist it. As I said, none of you can escape. At this moment, a voice came. The 2 minor saints' faces were full of fear. There was a voice. Who was it? Was there someone else in the death mist? The 2 minor saints were so scared that they almost wet their pants. Suddenly, the young minor saint's face changed. No, the voice belonged to that kid. He had fought with Lin Xian before, so he was familiar with Lin Xian's voice. Naturally, he could recognize it at this moment. The kid's voice sounded. Could it be that the kid had turned into a vengeful spirit after his death and came to claim their lives? Their hearts turned cold. At this moment, the death mist formed a big black palm and slapped toward him. With a bang, it slapped on the light shield around his body and shrouded him. No, damn it! The young minor saint screamed in fear. He wanted to break through the death light fog, but more and more death light fog rushed towards him. Get lost! The saint long saber slashed in all directions. The death mist was cut apart, but it was just mist in the first place, formless and formless. It couldn't be hurt at all, but he was scared out of his wits. The other old man was equally terrified. He even raised the fan above his head and unleashed thousands of laws to cover his body. He did not dare to act rashly, even though his companions were now surrounded. The young little saint was furious. He couldn't figure out why the mist would attack him. Suddenly, a green bolt of lightning flashed through the fog. piercing through his defense and tearing his body apart once again. With a roar, he suddenly turned around and saw a green dragon-shaped sword shadow. Damn it, it's him. Sure enough, he saw a young man walk out from the mist of death. He was unusually handsome and had a mysterious smile on his face. It's you. You're not dead. He was completely dumbfounded. He saw Lin Xian, and Lin Xian was now surrounded by the death mist that formed battle armor, making him look like a ghost from hell. How could this be? How could someone not be threatened by the death mist? While he was in a daze, the death mist had already drilled into his wounds. His life force was rapidly draining away. He screamed crazily, but Lin Xian had already seized the opportunity. More and more death mist shrouded his body. The young miner saint felt his life force was rapidly draining away. Gradually he lost all his strength. What happened? Are you okay? The other old man roared crazily. He could only hear the frightened voice of his companions. However, he didn't know what they had encountered. Run. This guy is from the death mist. In the end, the young miner saint issued a final warning. Then he turned into a skeleton. A dignified miner saint died just like that. It was really hard for ordinary people to believe. He's from the death mist? Who is he? The white-haired old man was very surprised and sad. He didn't know what the other party meant. However, he didn't dare to stay any longer. He exerted the saint weapon to the extreme. The law of water on his body also erupted with incomparable light. It formed a monstrous wave that swept him away, wanting to leave. However, as soon as he left, he saw a figure waiting for him in front. It's you! He saw Lin Xian as if he had seen a ghost. He also saw Lin Xian floating in the death mist, without being affected at all. Now, he finally knew what his companions meant. However, he was too late. No, he had to send a message to his family. This matter must be spread out. The other party is related to the death mist. How dare the Rain clan provoke such an existence? His finger touched the formation and wanted to send the message, but Lin Xian was faster. The great dragon's sword soul turned into a stream of light and directly cut off the old man's arm. If it was under normal circumstances, Lin Xian wouldn't have succeeded so easily. But now the old man was obviously scared out of his wits. Moreover, he had already been affected by the death item, and about 1/3 of his vitality flowed out. He was no longer at his peak, so Lin Xian succeeded with this attack. The sound transmission formation was shattered, and the old man's arm turned into a bloody mist. You still want to send a message? Go to hell obediently. Lin Xian withdrew his hand, and the Tai Chi art in his body circulated. The monstrous death mist enveloped the old man. Ah, no, you can't do this. I admit defeat. I surrender. Please spare my life. A dignified, small saint began to beg for mercy at this moment, but it was useless. After about half an hour, the mist dispersed, and only a pile of white bones appeared. Even the Saint Chi dimmed and lost its luster. What a terrifying death mist! Lin Xian's scalp went numb. Fortunately, he had the Tai Chi art. Otherwise, he would definitely die here. Humph! Lin Xian sneered, turned around and left, and continued to set off for the Fiend Star. On the other side, a few spirit boats streaked across the sky, and a few noble people stood in the boats. They were the Rain clan and the people of the Spirit Sealing Star. Among them, Di Ling and Yusiki were also there. The people of the Rain clan frowned. Calculating the time, it should be about time. Why was there no news back? There shouldn't be a problem, right? We sent 2 small saints. When the people of the Spirit Sealing Star heard this line up, they nodded. Don't overestimate that kid. For 5th Heaven saints were enough to kill him. Not to mention the 2 small saints. There was absolutely no problem. They nodded and didn't think about this matter anymore. Instead, they discussed the matter of the Fiend Star. They wondered what was in the coffins that the other party brought out this time. Chapter 30, 719. Di Ling said that according to our intelligence, it's not a coffin but a stone box. It's very old and comes in different sizes. The big ones look like coffins, which is why the news is wrong. The small ones are only the size of a palm. It's hard to imagine what's sealed inside. But from the looks of it, it's definitely not an ordinary item. It seems that they have to pay a huge price this time. The eyes of many elders flickered. The battle for the treasure box this time is definitely not simple. The Fiend Star. It's a very famous star in the void ocean. It's rumored that the people in this world are either evil or ruthless. In short, no one is a good person. Those who were able to survive here were all peerless experts, terrifying devil kings. However, at this moment, there are many spirit boats floating around the Fiend Star. They are densely packed and of different sizes. They are all from the big families and sects of the second star. They are here to see the treasures dug out from the void ocean. When Lin Xian arrived, he exclaimed, "The entire Fiend Star has a shocking murderous aura. Ordinary people can't withstand it at all. What a strange world. I wonder how Ruzalong and the North Demon are doing?" Lin Xian quickly landed. He realized that it's not just him. There are many people around him who have different auras from this world. Obviously, there are also people from other families and sections. I wonder why these people came to the Fiend Star. Isn't this place where ordinary people don't come? He doesn't know that there's a sacred assembly on the Fiend Star. Shaking his head, Lin Xian ignored it. He landed, put away the black earth, and looked around. Someone is coming. "Young master, do you need us to lead the way?" It's a few children. They don't look old. Their faces are still young, and their clothes aren't very good. Obviously, they can't live well in such a situation on the Fiend Star. It's already very difficult for them to survive. Lin Xian asked, "Lead the way, lead the way, lead the way." Among the children, a purple-haired youth said, "Young master, aren't you here to participate in the Fiend Star meeting?" "Fiend Star meeting?" Lin Xian narrowed his eyes. It seems that something is going to happen. He asked a few simple questions and instantly understood. It turned out that the Fiend Star had obtained a batch of ancient stone boxes. It was rumored that there might be incredible treasures sealed within them. Therefore, a grand ceremony was held, attracting countless experts. It was no wonder that so many people had come to the infamous demon planet. Lin Xian understood now. He nodded. "Take me to the nearest city first." "Yes, sir. Please follow me." The three children rode on a demon wolf and led the way. Lin Xian flew behind them. They traveled through the forest for about half a day. However, Lin Xian suddenly heard a blood-curdling scream. Although it wasn't very loud, with his soul he could still hear it. He frowned. The reason for that was because this sort of sound was not coming from a single location. Instead, it was coming from several different locations. He said, "What's going on?" "I thought I heard screams." The three youths in front stopped and asked, "Really?" "Perhaps. There are a lot of demonic beasts here. Without us leading the way, I'm afraid they wouldn't have arrived safely. Therefore, young master should follow us closely." With that, they turned around and continued to lead the way. However, the corners of their tender mouths curled up into a strange smile. After walking for another incense stick's time, suddenly the demon wolf in front accelerated and shook off Lin Xian. The three children also turned around and laughed loudly. "What are you laughing at?" Lin Xian frowned. "I'm laughing at you for being too stupid." One of the children sneered. "You outsiders are really pitifully stupid. How dare you come to the Fiend Star? You won't even know what's going on." Another purple-haired youth also snorted coldly. "Hurry up and obediently hand over your storage ring, resources, and treasures. Otherwise, you're dead meat." "Robbery?" The corner of Lin Xian's mouth twitched. To be honest, this scene was very strange. Three youths were robbing him. "With just the three of you?" He shook his head in disdain. "Of course, it's not the three of us. Do you think we don't have backing?" At this point, The 3 children whistled. The surrounding ground trembled, and a few huge creatures walked over. They were very tall, and one could tell at a glance that they were extremely terrifying demon beasts. The one on the left was a black bear. Its body was as big as a mountain, and there was a murderous aura in its eyes. The one on the right was a horse. Its entire body was fiery red, and flames danced on its body. It also had a pair of red wings on its back. These 2 demon beasts were both at the 4th heaven of the Saint Realm. As soon as they appeared, violent demonic aura spread in all directions. Haha, do you understand now? Hurry up and hand over your things. The 3 children had smiles on their faces. The 2 medicinal beasts were even more ferocious. Lin Xian said, I finally understand what those screams were about. They should be in the same situation as he was. It seemed that he had underestimated the fiend's heart. Lin Xian shook his head. He did not expect to be ambushed as soon as he arrived, and it was by these little ones. You've taught me a vivid lesson, so I'll give you a chance to live. Hurry up and leave. I won't kill you. Lin Xian waved his hand. Uncle, are you retarded? Do you think you can kill us? We've checked, and you're only at the 3rd heaven of the Saint Realm. One of the children was holding an array in his hand, and there were 3 rays of light on it. It was obvious that this was a test of cultivation. The 3 children sneered in disdain. The black bear also snorted coldly. How dare a mere 3rd heaven ant be so arrogant in front of me? Kneel down. He roared, and his demonic aura was monstrous. Like a giant mountain, he pressed down on Lin Xian. Lin Xian's eyes burst with a piercing cold light. It was like a divine sword that pierced through the void. The terrifying tailed tooth of the demon beast instantly disappeared. Not only that, the black bear was pierced by the golden light. Its soul trembled, and it let out a scream. He was furious. How dare a human ant attack me? The big paw smashed over. The 3 children's faces turned pale, and they quickly retreated. This human is so reckless. Forget it. Let's ignore him and watch the show. In their opinion, Lin Xian would definitely be tortured to death, but the result was beyond their expectations. The black bear's huge paw was grabbed by Lin Xian. With a light force, the paw was shattered into pieces. Black blood splattered all over the ground. The black bear was in pain and wanted to counterattack. Instead, it was sent flying by Lin Xian's 2 kicks. On the other side, when the flaming Pegasus saw this scene, it opened its mouth and spat out a monstrous sea of fire. Lin Xian bathed in the sea of fire. His expression was very comfortable. This little bit of flame was not enough. He opened his mouth and sucked in all the flames. Then he spat out the 9 suns' divine flame, burning the flaming Pegasus until it screamed miserably. Hero, I was wrong. Spare me. In the end, the 2 demon beasts were beaten to a miserable state. They knelt on the ground and kept kowtowing. They knew that this was not an ant. This was simply a peerless person. The 3 children were also stunned. Their mouths were wide open, and they could even swallow a fist. Originally, they were sitting in the distance, eating spirit fruits and watching the show. But at this moment, the 3 of them were trembling. When Lin Xian's gaze landed on them, the 3 children fell to the ground with a thud. Not good, I kicked an iron plate. The corners of the 3 youths' mouths twitched, revealing an expression that was uglier than crying. Chapter 37:20. I told you, don't rob me, but you didn't listen. Tell me, what do you plan to do now? Lin Xian sat on the black bear's huge head and said indifferently. The black bear was so scared that it trembled and almost fainted. The flaming Pegasus beside it was also so angry that it vomited blood. He glared fiercely at the 3 youths. To actually lead such a terrifying person to their side, wasn't this just asking them to die? The 3 youths were the same. Their bodies were cold and they couldn't even speak. Don't worry, I won't make things difficult for you, as long as you can do me a favor. We will definitely do it, the black bear said with a trembling voice. Hope also appeared in the eyes of the flaming Pegasus. The three youths nodded their heads with all their might. Lin Xian took out a silver demon token from his storage ring and said, "Do you know this thing? Do you know who its owner is?" "Silver demon token. Why do you have this thing?" Seeing this scene, the black bear and the flaming Pegasus almost fainted from fright. They kept kowtowing. "Lord, please spare our lives. We really didn't do it on purpose." The three youths were so scared that their faces turned ashen. Lin Xian said, "It seems like you know. Tell me, where is the owner of this thing?" "This is something from the Silver Palace." The flaming Pegasus opposite him knelt on the ground and said with a trembling voice, "Silver Palace? Be more specific." On the demon planet, there were some great powers that were extremely terrifying and belonged to the top forces. The Silver Palace was one of them. It was very powerful. This token was the unique silver demon token of the Silver Palace. It was something that only people above the Hall Master were qualified to possess. "Silver Palace?" Lin Xian's eyes flickered as he asked again. "Then do you know that there is a person called a Kuan here?" "A Kuan?" The three youths were stunned. However, the black bear and the flaming Pegasus trembled even more. "If we are not wrong, this should be the name of the White Jade Hall's Hall Master. However, no one has dared to call him that for many years. Since you know, then it's easy. Bring me to him, and I'll spare your lives." Lin Xian jumped down from the black bear's head. The two fey beasts revealed expressions that were uglier than crying. Although they were also great fey beasts compared to the Silver Palace, they were far too lacking. Even when they met Ah Kuan, they would tremble. However, they had no choice. In order to survive, they could only lead the way. Then the black bear's body shrank and turned into a big man with black skin. He looked very fierce. As for the blazing heavenly horse, it turned into a young man bathed in flames. Lin Xian released the three youths. He didn't make things difficult for them. Lin Xian allowed the two demonic beasts to carry him once more. Along the way, the three of them flew at high speed. Lin Xian also understood the situation. It turned out that Ah Kuan's strength had already reached the minor saint realm. Moreover, as he was one of the hall masters of the Silver Palace, his status was extraordinary. It could be said that his authority was monstrous. The flight took about 3 days. They landed in a city. This was White Jade City, the place where White Jade Hall was located. When they arrived at the place where White Jade Hall was located, the two demonic beasts didn't dare to move forward. They said, "Young master, it's just ahead, but we don't dare to enter. White Jade Hall's strength is very terrifying. If we dare to barge in, they will kill us. All right, you two can go now." The two of them waved their hands and left quickly as if they had been pardoned. Lin Xian raised his head and looked. This White Jade Hall was simply a city within a city. The gate was huge and majestic, and there were countless martial artists guarding it. These people were all kings. One had to know that kings were super experts in some places, but at this moment, they could only be guards here. One had to admit that White Jade Hall was very imposing. Lin Xian walked forward and was stopped by a few people. "Stop! Who dares to barge into our White Jade Hall?" Their voices were piercingly cold. Many people looked over and exclaimed in surprise, "This kid doesn't want to live anymore. That's the place where White Jade Hall is located. He's probably an outsider who doesn't know what's good for him." Some natives of the Fiend planet had sinister expressions. They all had looks of disdain on their faces when they saw the outsiders. However, there were a few people in the crowd who were shocked. They were from the Rain clan. They looked at the back of the figure and were dumbfounded. "Isn't that Lin Xian? Damn it, wasn't he killed by their elders? Why is he still here?" "Not necessarily. Maybe he's just similar. Let's take a look first." Another Rain Clan expert gritted his teeth and said, they were really too shocked. They looked carefully in the crowd. Ahead, Lin Xian looked at these guards and didn't say anything. Instead, he took out the fiend token. Those guards originally had cold, killing intent in their eyes. But when they saw the fiend token, they were stunned. I want to see your hall, Master Cohen. Say that we're old friends. Those kings were completely stunned. It was obvious that the background of the young man in front of them was great. They hurriedly said, we've offended, young master. Please forgive us. We'll report it now. Young master, please. A group of people respectfully invited Lin Xian in. Those people who were watching from afar were stunned. No way, this kid actually went in. Heavens, isn't he an outsider? How could he enter White Jade Hall? The natives of the Fiend Planet were all stunned. This place wasn't a place that anyone could enter. Even powerful saints didn't have the qualifications to enter. Therefore, they were very curious. What was the origin of that young man? In the crowd, the expressions of the two Rain Clan experts became even uglier. Did you see it clearly? Yes, you saw it clearly. It's that kid. He didn't die. And he even appeared here. This won't do. I have to go back and report it. The two of them turned into flowing lights and disappeared into the void. Inside White Jade Hall, it was grand and majestic. The halls were scattered all over the place. And in the deepest part of the hall, there was a floating hall that shone like a pearl. This was the place where their hall master cultivated. Normally, no one dared to enter this place. However, today an old man rushed over quickly. He respectfully knelt down on one knee from far away. He didn't say anything. Instead, he waited quietly. After a while, a calm voice came from the White Palace in front of him. What's the matter? Reporting to the hall master. Someone came with a silver devil token. He said that he's an old friend of the hall master and wants to see him. Got it. Bring him to the main hall. I'll go there right away. The voice came out. The old man quickly retreated. In the silver palace, a figure opened his eyes. It was a middle-aged man with a square face. There was a scar on his face that stretched from the corner of his eye to his chin. It was very ferocious. The aura of this person was very strong. He was a 6th heavenly layer saint, which was also a small saint. Silver light flickered in his eyes. Silver devil token? An old friend? Is it him? Chapter 37:21. Lin Xian was invited to the main hall. He drank some spirit tea and waited there. Soon he saw a figure appear on the throne in front of him. Greetings, hall master. The cultivators in the main hall hurriedly bowed respectfully. The figure on the throne waved his hand and they all retreated. Soon, only Lin Xian and the person on the throne were left in the main hall. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes and looked forward. At the same time, the person opposite him also walked over. Lin Xian saw that it was a middle-aged man with an extraordinary bearing. The scars on his face were very obvious. This should be Akuin. Akuin also looked over, but he was stunned. What's going on? This wasn't the person he knew. Who are you? Why do you have a silver token? He asked coldly. The atmosphere in the main hall instantly became heavy. At this moment, the main hall had become the other party's domain. The other party was the ruler here. With a thought, he could decide the life and death of a person. Lin Xian felt this powerful aura and was shocked. He said, I'm a disciple of Wushuang City. Fu Hongye is my senior brother. This token was given to me by him. Fu Hongye's junior brother? The pressure in the air disappeared, but the domain still existed. Since he gave you the silver token, your relationship is obviously not ordinary. Speak. Why are you looking for me? I'm looking for 2 people. Lin Xian told him his request. Akuin's eyes flickered. Lin Xian asked, can you find them? Akuin said, I know about the matter you mentioned. It caused a big commotion, but there are some things you didn't expect. When the Fog 5 ships arrived at the Fiend Star, they encountered a storm, so the people on the ships were separated. Some were still captured and controlled, and some escaped. So, I can't be sure who has the two people you want to find. Lin Xian asked again, who are the people who hijacked the ships last time? Akuin said, it's people from the Fiend Palace. Lin Xian was shocked. He had heard Heixiong say that the Fiend Palace, like the Silver Palace, was one of the top forces in this world. At the same time, he knew that the previous hijacking of the fog ship was the demon child's idea. It seemed that this demon child should be a member of the Demon Palace. The two people I want to find are extraordinary. One is from the Dragon Clan, and the other has the myriad demon body. The two of them were like bright pearls that could quickly shine no matter where they were. So it should be easy to find, Lin Xian said. Akuin said, don't worry, I'll send someone to look for it. He called his men in and gave them orders. Lin Xian heaved a sigh of relief. With the strength of the Silver Palace, there should be a result soon. Akuin stood up and looked at Lin Xian. He wondered what Lin Xian was going to do next. Was he going to stay here? I'll have them arrange it for you. Lin Xian said no need. I heard that there's going to be a banquet on the Fiend Planet. I want to go and take a look. All right, I'll let White Snake accompany you. If there's anything, just tell her. She can help you solve it. Not long after, White Snake arrived. She was a young woman. She was extremely beautiful and wore a white dress. She was lovely and moving. White Snake wasn't a servant, nor was she a maid. She was a proud daughter of the White Jade Hall. Letting her accompany Lin Xian was enough to show how much importance Akuin attached to Lin Xian. Since there was someone helping him to gather information, Xian decided to go and take a look at the Fiend Banquet. The two of them left White Feather City. On the other side, the two experts of the Rain Clan had also left long ago. They quickly arrived at another city. This was the place where the people of the Rain Clan and the Spirit Sealing Star were temporarily staying. Elder, not good. The two experts of the Rain Clan hurriedly returned. When the Rain Clan's Supreme Elder heard this, he frowned. What was going on? What was there to panic about? That brat appeared. The two of them were speaking incoherently. What? You're saying that Lin Xian appeared? When they heard what had happened, the people of the Rain Clan were stunned. The two Supreme Elders' eyes also burst out with biting, cold, killing intent. How could it be? We've already sent 2 Supreme Elders and 4 powerful saints to kill him. How could they fail? When Di Ling and the people of the Spirit Sealing Star heard this, they also didn't dare to believe it. Yu Shirchia said, quickly send a message to our Supreme Elders and ask them what's going on. They tried to use a sound transmission formation to contact those people, but there was no response. No response. How could it be? Could it be that there was an accident? Impossible. The people of the Rain Clan screamed. Those were 2 minor saints. How could there be an accident? Di Ling and the others also frowned. Indeed, the strength of a minor saint was not something that the other party could contend against. Investigate, they must find out. The Supreme Elders of the Rain Clan clenched their teeth. If the 2 minor saints were injured, it would be a great blow to them. They used the power of the clan to quickly investigate. Soon the news came back. Someone saw the minor saints of the Rain Clan chasing someone in the void ocean. This was seen by a passerby. It seemed that Lin Xian had indeed encountered their Supreme Elders. But what happened later? Why was he still alive? But there was no news of their Supreme Elders. They used the clan's power to investigate again. Finally, they found a trace of information. It turned out that in the void ocean there was a fog ship passing by. They saw the fog of death fill the air, enveloping the Rain Clan saints. What? How could it be like this? Could it be that those people died in the fog of death? After hearing this news, Yu Shirchia and the others turned pale. Di Ling and the others also frowned. How could that kid be alive? Could it be that he was lucky? Damn it, that kid killed 2 of our minor saints and 4 fifth-layer saints. You Shirtya, and the other's eyes turned red. Kill him. You must kill him. Everyone, please calm down. I know you're in a bad mood, but that kid is a little strange. The supreme elders of the spirit sealing star advised. Ling also said, yes, there are many ways to kill him, now that he has come to the fiend planet. If he dies here, it has nothing to do with us. What does Ling mean? Yu Shirtya asked. Ling sneered. The fiend banquet, this time, has attracted many people. I think some people from the holy city will also come. Thunder God's people should be here. Tell them the news. Thunder God Chung also wants to kill that kid now. Let the holy city do it. They have more confidence. Let's do it like that. The Rain clan's eyes lit up. Indeed, other than them, the Thunder God City also wanted to kill him. After all, back then, Lin Xian had ruthlessly slapped Lei Xinqing's face in front of so many people. Leave this matter to us. Ling's lips curled into a cold smile. He would definitely not let him go back alive. He would let him go to hell. Thinking that he could not enter the holy city, Ling went crazy with anger. Moreover, he had lost to him before. This made him even more unbearable. But this time he would definitely die. Chapter 37:22 Evil Demon City. This was the location of the evil demon feast. The entire city was huge, and it was floating in the sky. It was emitting a dark light. There were various buildings scattered all over the place. The atmosphere was magnificent. There were even some mountains, spirit springs, and waterfalls. It was the complete opposite of the terrifying atmosphere. This completely different atmosphere made the evil demon city very mysterious. At this moment, the evil demon city was very lively because everyone who wanted to participate in the evil demon feast had basically come here. Although the evil demon feast had not started yet, the place was already bustling with noise. Lin Xian and White Snake also went in. After entering, Lin Xian exclaimed. There were experts everywhere in the city. Saints could be seen everywhere, and many of them were young. Obviously, they were all geniuses. Of course, there were also many experts of the older generation. As for the stronger ones, like the small saints, they should have also come. However, most of them were hiding, waiting for the evil demon feast. Lin Gongzi, there's a small gathering tomorrow. Why don't we go and take a look? White Snake smiled faintly. She was also very curious about the person she was going to accompany, because she found that the other party was only at the 3rd heaven, but he was very calm. He was not afraid when facing 4th heaven or even 5th heaven saints. This made her very surprised. What exactly did the other party rely on? Could it be that it was just because of his special identity? The 2 of them stayed temporarily and went to participate in the small gathering the next evening. This gathering was organized by some of the top forces. Those who went were all geniuses of the big families. They either had talent or status. Otherwise, they would not be able to enter. White Snake got 2 invitations and went in with Lin Xian. This time, it was held in a huge mansion. This mansion was also magnificent and brightly lit. There should be a spirit vein below. As soon as they entered, they felt that the spirit chi here was very abundant, making them feel warm all over. They were the people of the Evil Men Valley. After White Snake came in, she began to introduce them to Lin Xian. Lin Xian turned his head and saw a group of people there. They looked very ferocious. They were all wearing beast skins and had a primitive, savage aura. They should be the people of the Evil Men Valley. Other than that, many other clans and powers had also sent their representatives. Among them, there were natives of the Fiend Planet, as well as experts from the Outer Realms. Even the people from the Holy City had come. Lin Xian saw the people from the Thunder God City. These people from the Thunder God City had prominent horns on their heads, and their bodies were surrounded by mysterious lightning. He stood there like a god. Many people crowded around him. wanting to curry favor with him. The geniuses of the sacred cities were much stronger than the other geniuses. Aside from the thunder god, he also saw other sacred cities. He didn't recognize some of them, but he did recognize some of them, such as the demon city. Although some of the monstrous beasts had taken human form, they still retained their monstrous beast characteristics. For example, its tail, wings, ears, and so on were very eye-catching. There were also quite a few people surrounding these people. Enemies really meet on a narrow path. Lin Xian narrowed his eyes as he thought to himself. He wondered if Lei Chong and the 100-eyed demon saint had come. It would be interesting if they came. Seeing Lin Xian sweeping his gaze over the others so unscrupulously, some of the surrounding people were shocked. Who was this person? His gaze was too bold. They looked over and found that Lin Xian's face was very unfamiliar. They didn't know him at all. However, they knew the woman in white next to Lin Xian. She was White Snake. A series of exclamations sounded. It was White Fairy from Tianya. She had also come. In an instant, many people looked over here. There were even a few young people with handsome smiles on their faces as they walked over quickly. White Fairy, long time no see. A handsome man in blue armor shakes the spirit wine in his hand and smiles faintly. White Fairy, I was just talking about you. I didn't expect you to come. This way, please. Let's chat for a while. Someone invited her again. There were even people who invited White Fairy to dance. Although Lin Xian and White Snake were standing very close to each other, at this moment they seemed to be ignored by everyone. However, he wasn't angry. Instead, he looked at this scene with interest. It seemed that White Snake was very popular. White Snake had seen this kind of scene many times, so she dealt with it calmly. After politely rejecting these people, she looked at Lin Xian. Lin Gongzi, let's sit over there. As soon as she said that, the crowd was in an uproar. They were all stunned. What was going on? White Snake actually came with someone else. In an instant, countless eyes all looked at Lin Xian with hostility in their eyes. Who was this? How could he walk with White Fairy? Damn it, could it be that someone beat them to it? Some young elites gritted their teeth and looked unfriendly. If it were anyone else, they would have been scared out of their wits and turned pale when they were surrounded by so many hostile gazes. However, Lin Xian was calm and didn't seem to be affected at all. Hearing White Snake's words, he nodded slightly. Okay, let's go. With that, he walked side by side with White Snake in a direction in the distance. At this moment, the surrounding people were in an uproar. Oh my God, did you see that? That kid only had a cultivation level of level 3. So weak? What right did he have to walk with White Fairy? If he was a top expert, they would accept it. After all, they were inferior. But now, how could a level 3 sage be qualified to compete with them? Moreover, the other party was only at the early stage of level 3. What a joke! White Fairy, may I know who this gentleman is? Someone asked gloomily. Yes, why didn't White Fairy introduce him? Could it be that this was White Fairy's servant? However, this servant didn't seem to know the rules. Some people were sinister, purposely lowering Lin Xian's status. After hearing that, Lin Xian was expressionless, while White Snake's face darkened. Everyone, please don't be rude. This is Lin Gongzi, my friend. Lin Gongzi? Which Lin Gongzi? They had never heard of him. Everyone was puzzled. Indeed, although Lin Wudi's name resounded throughout the 8 desolations, the number of people who had seen his true face was indeed not many. What's more, there were countless worlds in the 2nd astral realm, and there were countless warriors in each world. Therefore, there were too many people who had never seen Lin Xian. Of course, if the name Lin Wudi was mentioned, they would definitely nod to show that they had heard of him. Seeing that everyone was disdainful, White Snake said that Lin Gongzi was an important guest of White Jade Hall. She hoped that they wouldn't be rude. An important guest of White Jade Hall. Everyone was shocked again. Could it be that this person had a powerful background? However, Some people sneered because their strength was not weaker than White Jade Hall. Therefore, they didn't care. Really? When did White Jade Hall fall to this point? How could a level 3 person be an important guest? That's right. Who was Lin Gongzi? Why was he so important? Could it be that he was Lin Wudy? Ha! Everyone didn't believe it and laughed. How could Lin Wudy be so low-key? Chapter 37:23. If it was that person, of course we would admit defeat. But that person should be cultivating in seclusion in the sacred city now. He probably won't come out for more than 10 years. Kid, which family are you from? What right do you have to stand beside White Fairy? A person walked out and questioned coldly. It was a young man in a silver robe. He looked extraordinary. There were silver flames dancing in his eyes, and he had a strong aura. This person was also from the Silver Palace. However, he was not from White Jade Hall, but White Horse Hall. These two halls were competing with each other. This young man in silver armor had been pursuing White Fairy for a long time. So when he saw Lin Xian, he was naturally unhappy. And now it seemed that he could use this opportunity to suppress White Jade Hall's arrogance. Xiao Westwind, don't go too far. White Snake shouted coldly. She felt that these people were too much. To be honest, she didn't know Lin Xian's true identity because Hall Master Kuan didn't tell her in detail. He only said that he was an important guest and asked her to treat him well. At this moment, Lin Xian said, "You're right. I'm Lin Wudy." Everyone was stunned. Then they laughed with mockery in their eyes. "Kid, who are you trying to fool? You call yourself Lin Wudy? I'm Zhang Wudy. I'm Zhao Wudy. Do you think anyone can call me Zhao Wudy? If you're Lin Wudy, I'll eat this table." White Snake was also stunned. She didn't expect Lin Xian to say that. Of course, she didn't believe that the person in front of her was Lin Wudy. She thought that Lin Xian would make up a name to scare him. Xiao Westwind looked at Lin Xian with a smile. "Are you Lin Wudy? Do you dare to spar with me?" "Don't worry, it's just a spar. I won't take your life." His eyes were filled with jealousy. Lin Xian shook his head. "No." Everyone laughed even louder. "You don't dare?" Xiao Westwind snorted. Lin Xian said, "It's not that I don't dare, but you don't have the right to spar with me." As soon as he said that, the surroundings fell silent. Everyone's eyes widened in disbelief. Not qualified. The person in front of him dared to say that Westwind was not qualified? He really didn't know what death was. This was the cultivation of a middle stage, 4th, heavenly layer. His divine abilities were even more powerful. He could even withstand the attacks of a late stage, 4th, heavenly layer expert. The other party, an early 3rd heaven, dared to say that Westwind was not qualified to laugh at him? If this wasn't courting death, then what was? For a moment, everyone looked at Lin Xian strangely. Even White Snake, who was beside him, was stunned. He didn't know how to deal with the situation. Xiao Westwind's expression darkened as well. His eyes were filled with killing intent. How dare this guy look down on him? Is he courting death? In the distance, those people also looked over one after another, moreover asking what happened. Why was it so lively? Someone recklessly provoked West Wind. Who was that person? Was it another genius? What kind of genius was this? He was just an early stage, 3rd, heavenly layer cultivator. How reckless! Everyone was astonished. Some of them quickly spread the news, while others ran over to watch the show. In the depths of the mansion, there were a few grand palaces. Multicolored light surrounded them, and the great Tao pervaded the air. In one of the palaces, a man wearing a blue robe sat. His hair was blue and abnormally soft. His eyes were incomparably bright. Although the aura on his body was not strong, no one dared to underestimate him. There were many people around him. Some of them were ferocious horned demonic beasts, while others were humans. These people were all toasting the man in the aqua blue robe. What was so lively outside? The man in the blue robe. He took a glance outside. He asked indifferently, "Quickly go and find out." A human male quickly said. Soon, someone outside reported back. Reporting to the young master. Someone is fighting over White Fairy. Who is that White Fairy? The man in the blue robe asked again. The human youth smiled. This White Fairy. She was a genius of the White Jade Hall. She was originally a white-scaled snake. After transforming into a human form, she was incomparably beautiful. Countless geniuses pursued her. The one who spoke was a genius of the demon palace called Yu. Oh, the white spirit snake. Those demonic beasts were shocked. The man in the blue robe also had a trace of light in his eyes. Was that so? She was actually a heaven and earth variant? This was truly unexpected. Hearing this, Yu Yu's eyes also lit up. He said with a smile, "Brother Shuewa, if you like her, I'll invite her over." As he spoke, he said to his subordinates, "Go and invite White Fairy over." Wait a minute. The man in the blue robe raised his hand. "Brother Shuewa, what other matters do you have?" Yu was shocked, revealing a puzzled expression. "Let me send someone to invite her. Everyone is a heaven and earth variant beast. And this time, I am representing the Thousand Fiend City. I cannot fail to show the courtesy of our Thousand Fiend City. I didn't think it through." Yu slapped his head and said with a smile, "All right, then I'll accompany you." Although he was a genius of the demon palace, the man in the blue robe was even more extraordinary. The other party was a genius of the Thousand Fiend City. Even he wanted to make friends with the other party. "Cloud Leopard, you go," Shuewa said. Beside him, a man walked out. This person had short hair, a tall and slender figure. There were some black patterns on his face. Yu also stood up. He said with a smile, "Brother Cloud Leopard, please." The two walked out of the great hall, walking towards the front of the underworld. At this moment, in the area ahead, quite a few people surrounded them, whispering to each other. This was that extremely daring fella. He really didn't know the difference between life and death. That's right. He even dared to impersonate Lin Wudi. He really was tired of living. Xiao Westwind's face was cold. "Brat, do you dare spar with me?" Right now, he really wanted to make a move, eliminate the other party. Even if he couldn't kill the other party, he still wanted to ruthlessly trample the other party beneath his feet. No one dared to provoke him. Lin Xian looked like he didn't want to fight from start to finish, looking down on him. This made Xiao Westwind so angry he wanted to vomit blood. In the end, Xiao Westwind walked out forcefully. From the looks of it, even if Lin Xian didn't agree, he was going to forcefully make a move. "Brat, let's go to that place and have a chat." A powerful, holy might appeared on his body. Countless laws filled the air above him, as if he wanted to forcefully bring Lin Xian away. In truth, if this was outside, Xiao Westwind would have already made a move. A third heaven ant was someone he could easily kill. But this time was different. This was a small gathering organized by various major factions. If he rashly made a move here, it would be not giving face to those major factions. He didn't dare to bear the consequences, but if it was a spar, it was different. That was why he tried every possible way to spar with the other party. However, the other party didn't agree. Now he couldn't hold back anymore. Since he couldn't make a move here, he would first seal the other party, bring him out, and then make a move. Chapter 37:24. It's over. That brat is going to be unlucky. Right, from the looks of it, Xiao Westwind is going to make a move. Serves him right. Who told that brat to be so arrogant? Some people sneered, some worried. White Snake was incomparably worried. That was why she stood in front of Lin Xian, staring at Xiao Westwind. "Don't go too far. White Snake, move aside. No matter what, we are all people from Silver Palace. I don't want to attack you. However, I have to teach this brat a lesson." Xiao Westwind's voice was ice cold. White Snake was actually standing up for the other party. It really angered him to death. Lin Xian also patted White Snake's shoulder. "White Fairy, there's no need, just move aside. This brat isn't my match at all." When these words were spoken, Xiao Westwind was so angry he vomited blood. The surrounding people also felt their scalps go numb. Heavens! Does this brat have any common sense? Could it be that he really isn't afraid of death? He still dares to provoke us now. Lin Xian sighed. "I'm speaking the truth. Why doesn't anyone believe me?" Even White Fairy felt that Lin Xian's words were a bit excessive. She wanted to remind Lin Xian to be more low profile, because this Xiao Westwind wasn't simple. However, before she spoke, there was a commotion in the distance. The crowd scattered. At the same time, cries of alarm sounded. It seemed like a few more great figures were going to make an appearance. Quite a few people were shocked. At the same time, a voice sounded. "Those in front, get lost, don't attack." The surrounding people were shocked. Could it be that someone was going to stand up for Lin Xian? Xiao Westwind was angry. Who dared to stop him? I want to see who dares to stop me. The crowd scattered. Finally, someone walked over. It was a black-clothed male, his face cold. When they saw this person, quite a few people cried out in alarm. "Fiend Palace's Yu. Heavens, he actually came. Could it be that this brat had some relationship with Fiend Palace? Xiao Westwind was also stunned. Yu, are you going to stop me? Even though this Yu was a heavenly talent, he still had confidence in being able to fight. Yu walked over, sneering. Xiao Westwind, it's not that I want to stop you, but that someone wants to see White Fairy. I advise you to hurry and back. Don't make a mistake. The crowd was in an uproar. Xiao Westwind was also angry. Yu's strength was about the same as his, and their statuses were about the same as well. The other party actually dared to use this type of condescending and threatening attitude. This made him very unhappy. He did not step aside. Instead, he took a step forward and snorted coldly. I want to see who is so arrogant. It's me. Do you have a problem with that? Another voice came from behind. A person walked out. It was a tall and slender man. He had short hair and black spots on his face. As soon as he appeared, he brought with him a powerful aura. Many people narrowed their eyes. People from the demon city. Yu grinned. Do you still dare to stop me now? Xiao Shifeng broke out in a cold sweat. His body was trembling. Damn it, the demon palace's people dared to trick him. He didn't expect that the people behind them were from the myriad demon city. Furthermore, it was a clouded leopard. He also knew this person. He was at the late stage of the fourth celestial layer and was much stronger than him. He was no match for the other party at all. If the two of them were to fight, he wouldn't even be able to block 10 moves. So it's Brother Cloud Leopard. I didn't know. Please forgive me. Xiao Shifeng lowered his head, showing a very respectful appearance. The surrounding martial artists also felt their scalps go numb. This Cloud Leopard was really a terrifying expert. White Snake was also stunned. Why did someone from the myriad demon city want to see him? Moreover, it was with someone from the demon palace. Was there a conspiracy in this? For a moment, she thought of many things. But Lin Xian narrowed his eyes and said with a cold smile, You're not much either. Didn't you say that you wanted to spar? Why don't you dare to spar with others now? Lin Xian looked at Xiao Shifeng, his eyes full of disdain. You're courting death. Xiao Shifeng raised his head, his eyes overflowing with anger. However, he did not immediately attack. Instead, he gritted his teeth. Brat, I'll let you jump around for a while first. After this matter is over, I'll deal with you. You also glanced at Lin Xian, revealing a hint of surprise. Who was this person? He didn't recognize him. He completely ignored Cloud Leopard at the side. He didn't put a third firmament ant in his eyes at all. He stared at White Snake and said in a deep voice, White Fairy, come with me. My big brother wants to see you. Cloud, Leopard's big brother. Heavens, how terrifying would that be? It seemed that this white fairy was going to soar. Everyone was incomparably shocked. Some female martial artists were very envious, wishing that they could immediately transform into White Snake and follow him. Xiao Shifeng's pupils also constricted. Damn it, the woman he liked was going to be snatched away by someone else. Moreover, it was an existence even stronger than him. He was unwilling to accept this. His eyes were red, but he lowered his head deeply, not daring to release killing intent in the slightest. Compared to these experts from the myriad demon city, he, Xiao Shifeng, was nothing. If he dared to release killing intent, the other party would mercilessly kill him. White Snake was also stunned. She didn't have any interactions with the myriad demon city, although this time many holy cities descended and various factions made friends with them. Their Silver Palace was the same. However, they didn't seem to have made friends with the myriad demon city. So, why did the other party come to find him at this time? Moreover, Yu Yu was standing at the side. One had to know that Fiend Palace and Silver Palace had always been at odds. Could Yu Yu have set up some trap, waiting for her to jump in? Seeing White Snake in a daze, Cloud Leopard frowned. Yu Yu at the side also said with a smile, "Why is White Fairy in a daze? Could it be that you don't want to give us face?" Damn it. White Snake's expression changed. She didn't want to fall out with the Holy City's people. So she said, "I came with a companion this time, so it's not too convenient. How about next time? I'll pay a visit to the Holy City's geniuses." White Snake's words were very beautiful, tactfully declining while giving the other party face. You stared blankly. White Snake came with someone. With whom? He looked towards Lin Xian. Many people also looked towards Lin Xian. This was White Snake's companion? A third celestial layer? Since when did the White Snake get together with an ant like him? Cloud Leopard also looked towards Lin Xian. Is he your companion? If he dies, you won't have anything to worry about. Speaking up to hear, as expected, he attacked. A gigantic claw covered the entire sky as it swiped out at the void before it, shattering it entirely. This attack was extremely sudden, to the extent that everyone was stunned. When they reacted, they saw that the space in front of them had completely shattered, turning into chaos. "What are you doing?" White Snake screamed. Everyone else was also stunned. Cloud Leopard retracted his hand and said calmly, "Your companion is already dead. Now, you don't have anything to worry about. Come with me." Heavens, this was too domineering, right? Everyone went crazy. Just because of a sentence from White Snake, this myriad demon city's expert decisively attacked. Truly domineering. Chapter 37:25. Yu was also stunned, but soon he smiled. A third heaven ant was not worth caring about. It was better to think about how to befriend Thousand Fiend City. Xiao West Wind was also shocked. Although Lin Xian died, he did not feel any joy, but instead fear. Thousand Fiend City's power and terror completely exceeded his expectations. One had to know that he was also a genius with a noble status, but he did not dare to make a move here at all. But the other party did not say anything, directly attacking as if he did not have any misgivings at all. Thinking of this, he broke out in cold sweat. Fortunately, he did not release killing intent before. Otherwise, the other party would definitely have attacked him mercilessly. Did you kill him? White Snake's mind was a bit blank. She simply did not dare to believe it. This Lin Gongzi was personally handed to her by their hall master. He was an important guest of their White Jade Hall. Now that he was dead, how was she going to explain it when she returned? If an ant died, then so be it. There was nothing to make a fuss about. "Fairy White, you should come with me." Cloud Leopard spoke again, carrying an unquestionable aura. It was as if it was not an invitation, but an order. Everyone was shocked. but they did not feel that there was anything wrong. This was the Holy City's genius, someone who could order them around. However, right at this moment, an ice-cold voice sounded. "Oh, is that so? I can ignore the death of an ant? Then, if you are an ant in my eyes, does that mean I can also kill you without any misgivings?" When this voice sounded, everyone was in an uproar. They could feel a biting cold killing intent rushing towards Cloud Leopard. Someone wanted to kill Cloud Leopard? Who was it? Was it an expert from White Jade Hall? Or was it the person behind that kid? At this moment, everyone was stunned. There was an uproar. White Snake could not think of who wanted to make a move. Cloud Leopard snorted coldly. "Who dares to make a move against me? Get out here, I'll send you to hell." His gaze looked around. In the next moment, he was stunned. The shattered void started to heal slowly. Not only that, but a figure also appeared in the shattered void. "It's you, you didn't die." Cloud Leopard did not dare to believe it. The surrounding people even widened their eyes. That kid came back to life again. They discovered that a figure walked out of the void. It was Lin Xian. He did not die. Heavens, he's not even injured. What was going on? Such a violent strike. Xiao Westwind and the others felt their blood run cold. They didn't think that they could escape. How could an ant of the third celestial layer be unharmed? Lin, young master. White Snake stuttered. She didn't know what was going on either. But Lin Xian didn't die. That was great. Impossible. How could he still be alive? Xiao Westwind's face was full of shock, as if he had seen a ghost. Even the distant Yu was stunned. His eyelids twitched slightly. After Lin Xian appeared, his expression was cold. He stared at the other party and asked, "Let me ask you, you are an ant in my eyes. Can I kill you as I please?" To be honest, he was indeed angry. He did not know this Cloud Leopard. It could be said that there was no relationship between them. However, the other party did not distinguish between right and wrong, and suddenly tried to kill him. If he was slightly weaker, he would have died just now. How could he not be angry? Ants were ants. Experts could kill them as they wished, no need for any reason. Although I don't know how you managed to survive, this time you can go and die for real. Cloud Leopard took a step out, the aura on its body suddenly erupting. Its claws slapped over again, this time carrying incomparably sharp light. This was metal laws, able to shatter everything. Experts didn't need any reason to kill ants. Very good, this is the reason why you died. Lin Xian also made his move. He raised his palm. Light flickered on it, turning into a golden sun, crushing forward. What? This brat wanted to make his move? When they saw Lin Xian make his move, the surrounding people were all stunned. Heavens, this brat was lucky enough to survive, but he didn't run. Actually daring to make a move here? He really didn't know the difference between life and death. Just watch, he was undoubtedly going to die this time. Quite a few people shook their heads. They all knew how powerful Cloud Leopard was. How could a third celestial layer ant provoke it? It was like throwing an egg against a rock. You sneered. Xiao Shifeng also snorted coldly. Reckless thing. Even I don't dare to provoke it, let alone you. Lin Xian made his move. Xiao Shifeng was stunned, even driving him mad. One had to know that he didn't dare to make a move, but the other party dared to. What did the other party have? That was why, right now, he wanted nothing more than to tear the other party into pieces. Only then could he hide his cowardice. Boom, boom, boom. The claws carrying metal laws collided with the palm of terrifying light, causing heaven and earth to split. In the next moment, a miserable cry rang out, the sound of bones shattering. That golden palm was like a peerless sun, releasing light, directly shattering the other party's claws. With a roar, Cloud Leopard roared towards the sky, instantly enraged, his eyes completely red, releasing terrifying light. You dare injure me? He was completely driven mad. Being bitten by an ant, this was simply a great humiliation. Cloud Leopard was injured. How was this possible? The surrounding people's eyeballs fell to the ground from fright. This was too inconceivable. Xiao Shifeng's sinister expression froze, so frightened that his hair stood on end. Even Yu Yu and White Snake's expressions were sluggish. This situation was completely out of their expectations. Lin Xian sneered, attacking powerfully. The other party was a late-stage Fourth Heaven Saint, yet he wanted to attack him? What kind of joke was this? He previously felt disdain, but according to the other party's logic, if an ant died, then so be it, there was nothing to feel pity about. In that case, he would fulfill the other party's wish. Another palm struck out, the golden palm like a resplendent sun, the strands of golden light like sharp swords, piercing into Cloud Leopard's body. This caused Cloud Leopard to continuously retreat, blood flowing out. Ah! A miserable cry rang out. Everyone was stunned. Cloud Leopard's entire body trembled. With a roar, he turned into a close to 100-meter-long demonic beast, charging over. He was a leopard to begin with, moreover, a heaven and earth variant. Now that he was injured, he disregarded everything, launching a peerless attack. Die for me! His body was like a mountain, charging over. Lin Xian's hand clenched into a fist, smashing down. With a boom sound, the other party's head was smashed into mush. The other party's enormous body also smashed fiercely into the ground. The earth split open, the entire manor trembling slightly. Quite a few people were sent flying by this wave of power, vomiting large mouthfuls of blood. The stronger ones also continuously retreated. Roar! Even though Cloud Leopard's head was smashed, it wasn't a fatal injury for him. However, in the next moment he was alarmed. That golden palm directly grabbed a soul, pulling it out. Then, spheres of soul fire appeared, wrapping around a soul. No! Damn it, stop! This time he was truly alarmed. The other party could thoroughly injure his soul. If his soul was destroyed, he wouldn't be able to live no matter how heaven-defying his methods were. Chapter 37:26. However, no matter how he roared, that soul flame continued to burn. In that instant, his soul was burned to ashes. The miserable cries disappeared. All types of light also disappeared. There was only a giant leopard corpse lying on the ground. Saint blood flowed out, piercing through the earth. Terrifying craters appeared one after another. This was the blood of a saint, and a single drop was enough to kill all things. Those people frantically retreated, not daring to touch it at all. At the same time, they were incomparably shocked. Dead, the Cloud Leopard actually died. This was too inconceivable. That was a late-stage Fourth Heaven Saint. How powerful was he? He was actually killed by a Third Heaven ant. This was simply a demon. Those who could come to this manor and participate in the gathering were all geniuses, incomparably dazzling existences. But at this moment, their bodies were ice-cold, trembling. How was this possible? Xiao Westwind had a face of shock, as if he had seen a ghost. He was still looking down on the other party before, provoking him, wanting to spar with him. What a joke! He felt a wave of lingering fear. If the other party made a move, he would have long died. Thinking of this, his legs went soft, directly kneeling down, his face incomparably pale. White Snake's face was also full of shock. Originally, she was still worried for Lin Xian, but in the blink of an eye, Lin Xian actually killed a powerful expert. It really was too inconceivable. Her cherry mouth opened into an O shape. Yu Yu's expression changed greatly, turning around, wanting to escape. What a joke! Would he be killed if he stayed here? However, Lin Xian instead said indifferently, "If you dare move, I'll destroy your body and soul." With a putong sound, his body that had just flown up directly fell to the ground. He turned his head, revealing an expression even uglier than crying. "This young master, it really has nothing to do with me. I was just passing by. You was about to cry. However, Lin Xian didn't pay him any attention, instead staring at the 100-meter leopard corpse. Thousand Fiend cities, people wanted to kill him, not knowing the difference between life and death, so he would properly deal with them. Wang. Lin Xian brought out a jade bottle, collecting all of the saint blood that flowed out, and then put it away. Then he drew a spear. The spear enlarged, becoming like a flood dragon, directly piercing through the cloud leopard's corpse, and then lifted it up. It was stuck in the ground. In the next moment, with a wave of his hand, boundless flames danced, and he began to roast the meat. Originally, he wanted to come to this small gathering to eat and drink, but no one had entertained him for so long. Forget it, I'll do it myself. The surrounding people went crazy. What did they see? Not only did this brat kill the cloud leopard, he even wanted to eat its corpse. Oh, Changtian, this was an earth-shattering event. This was the corpse of a saint. Moreover, it was a late 4th heavenly layer saint. Who would dare to eat it? But now, there was actually someone who didn't care at all. Yu was the same, so scared that he knelt on the ground, shivering all over. This was simply a ruthless person. Originally, the Fiend Star had been known to be ruthless and fierce. But now, compared to the other side, they were like kind-hearted little sheep. The 9-yang divine flame pulsed. Even though this was a late-stage 4th heaven saint with a powerful killing intent, everything was completely refined by the divine flame. Soon, the aroma of meat wafted out. Everyone was stunned for a moment before their eyes lit up. Many people swallowed their saliva in loneliness. It smells so good. Is this the flesh of a saint? Why does it feel so delicious? They were all drooling. However, they didn't dare to really eat it. If they did, would Thousand Fiend City forgive them? White Fairy, let's eat together. Lin Xian called out. White Snake was stunned. Her mind was a bit blank right now, as if she was a puppet. When she heard Lin Xian's words, she was given a fright and hurriedly shook her head. What a joke! She didn't dare to eat it. Forget it, I'll write the lyrics myself. Lin Xian directly tore off a piece of meat and took a bite. Pure energy surged out. Those natural laws all flew out, circling around like a meteor shower. It was exceptionally dazzling. Wow, what pure energy! Lin Xian's eyes lit up. To be honest, this really was his first time eating this. In the past, he had also eaten some powerful fiend kings, and he had also eaten the flesh of fiend saints. However, those were those who had just become fiend saints. This was a late 4th heavenly layer fiend saint. It couldn't be compared at all. The energy contained in this meat was really terrifying. When he took a bite, he felt the blood in his body rumble as if it was about to boil. This guy really dared to eat it. The surrounding people all knelt down. He was simply an immortal. They kept worshipping him in their hearts. Lin Xian ate mouthful after mouthful. His aura spread, and he shone brightly as if he was about to ascend. Seeing that, everyone wanted to go up and take a few bites. Deep in the mansion, in the great hall, those people were waiting inside. Gradually, Shui Yu frowned. Why wasn't she back yet? The others were also discussing. Could it be that something had happened? It shouldn't be. Who would dare to be disrespectful to them here? Suddenly, they felt the ground shaking. There was a terrifying aura in front of them. Many people were surprised that she had made a move. Someone laughed dryly. This white fairy was really hot-tempered. She must have made a move. It didn't matter. The people of Thousand Fiend City said that they wanted to teach Little White Snake a lesson and let her know that there was always someone better than her. They were very confident in Cloud Leopard. Sure enough, it didn't take long for the energy fluctuation to disappear. The people of Thousand Fiend City laughed loudly. It seemed that she had been subdued. That little white snake was definitely not as strong as Cloud Leopard. She must have been subdued. She would be back soon. They waited calmly. Shui also had a leisurely look on her face. However, after waiting for a while, she didn't return. Instead, a fragrance wafted over. What was it that smelled so good? The eyes of many people from Thousand Fiend City lit up. They asked, "Did you have something good that you didn't give us?" The expressions of the human sages also changed. They hurriedly said, "How is that possible? We took out the best things to entertain you." "Then what's with the fragrance?" The people of Thousand Fiend City looked unfriendly. Shui Yu's expression also darkened. Why? Did they dare to underestimate them? The human warriors' expressions turned ugly. A few of them stood up and said, "I'll go and see what's going on." As soon as he walked out, the people outside ran over and knelt on the ground. Their faces were pale. Oh no! Why are they panicking? The human sages' expressions were gloomy. They were full of anger and wanted to find out where the fragrance came from. Now, their subordinates were telling them that something was wrong. Wasn't he purposely trying to anger them? Tell them what's going on. They asked coldly. Those subordinates were scared out of their wits. Cloud Leopard had been roasted. Chapter 37:27. What? Those human sages were stunned, and their minds went blank. The people in the main hall were also stunned. Then they burst into an uproar. Could it be that the fragrance belonged to Cloud Leopard? Their faces were full of shock. Those people from the Demon City instantly exploded. Their auras erupted, and the entire main hall was almost overturned by them. Inside the main hall, the array formation filled the air, suppressing everything. But it seemed that it would not be able to suppress them. These people were like volcanoes, and their auras were too terrifying. Shueyue's eyes erupted with piercing, killing intent. What's going on? Boss, let's go take a look. Some people walked out. They have a good relationship with Cloud Leopard. All right, a few more people go and see who dares to be so bold. Bring him here. I want to make him suffer in front of the whole world. Shueyue's voice was extremely cold. The surrounding human warriors also hurriedly apologized. Let's go together. Don't worry, young Master Shueyue. We will definitely handle this matter well. These people quickly ran outside, turning into streaks of light with monstrous killing intent. Soon, the entire mansion was alarmed. Oh no, the people from the Demon City are here. Let's go. These people fled into the distance as if they had gone mad. Of course, these people did not flee. Instead, they fled into the distance and watched silently. They knew that there would be an earth-shattering battle next. I wonder how the people from the Demon City will deal with this kid. In the distance, for streaks of light rushed over, 2 human sages and 2 sages from the Demon City. When they arrived, they were instantly stunned. The 2 human sages were dumbfounded. They could not believe that they were really tested. As for the 2 demon sages from the Demon City, their eyes instantly turned red, and terrifying killing intent swept out. Damn it! How dare you! They saw Lin Xian sitting there, holding a roasted beast leg. There was oil on his mouth, and he was burping at the moment. He was even drinking while saying, "Oh, it's so delicious. I have to fight a few more powerful mutants in the future. Die." One of the demon sages roared crazily, erupting with a terrifying aura. One of his palms seemed to have turned into heaven and earth, and it fiercely blasted forward. This was a rhinoceros that had become a 4th celestial-layered demonic beast. Its strength was no weaker than the Cloud Leopard from before. Moreover, the Cloud Leopard excelled in speed, while the rhinoceros excelled in strength. Once this power was unleashed, it was as if the heavens and earth were falling apart. It was too violent. The surrounding sages felt their scalps go numb. Lin Xian stood up. Get lost. He slapped out, and a golden palm flew out like a sun. As the 2 collided, an unparalleled aura erupted. At this time, Lin Xian's other hand grabbed the huge clouded leopard's corpse and put it away. At the same time, he said, "You can fight, but don't spoil my food. Otherwise, I'll get mad at you." Ah, I'm so angry. The rhinoceros saint was so angry that smoke was coming out of his body. The other party was simply too despicable. Beside him, another person also made a move. He was also a demon saint. The demon saint's true form was a demonic wolf that had cultivated into a demon. He pulled out a long green saber and descended from the sky. Heaven and earth were instantly split into two halves. Clang! Lin Xian's fist smashed onto the treasured saber, emitting a sonorous sound that made everyone dizzy. Lin Xian retracted his palm. Do you two want to become barbecued meat too? Damn it. The demon wolf saint was also so angry that his entire body was trembling. The surrounding people were completely stunned. Tianya, this kid's strength was really too terrifying. Was he really just an early-stage, third firmament saint? Fighting against 2 fourth firmament demon saints and not being at a disadvantage at all, especially the other party's body. He could actually contend against the rhinoceros demon saint and catch the treasured saber with his bare hands. This was simply inhuman. This couldn't be a human-shaped Tyrannosaurus, right? Many people muttered softly. As for you, Xiao Shifeng, and the others, they were completely scared out of their wits. They quickly retreated to the back. At this moment, they were still kneeling on the ground, unable to stand up. White Snake was even more dumbfounded. Until now, her entire worldview had collapsed. Previously, she was very worried about Lin Xian's safety, but now she actually began to worry. Would these demon saints of Thousand Demon City be barbecued meat again? He sneered. Kid, who are you? You actually dare to cause trouble here? You even dare to kill my 1,000 demon cities, esteemed guests. Do you know that you have committed a heinous crime? The 2 human saints couldn't watch any longer. They rushed out and shouted coldly. Their voices spread through the 9 heavens. Lin Xian snorted coldly. You're the bold one. You actually dare to sneak attack me. And your 1,000 demon city. You actually want to kill me without a word. You're really bold. Who gave you the guts to attack me? Everyone was stunned. Even the 2 sages were stunned. Heavens! They wanted to use their power to oppress others. Who would have thought that the other party wouldn't fall for it at all and instead berated them? What was the meaning of this? Heavens, you're the one who barbecued 1,000 Demon City, okay? At the same time, they were also shocked. Who exactly was this person? He was terrifyingly strong, and his identity wasn't ordinary either. The 2 of them asked, Who are you? Which family are you from? Lin Xian stood there with his hands behind his back, looking unfathomable. The 2 of you don't have the right to know. He glanced at 1,000 Demon City again. You 2 little demons, quickly go back and call your boss out. Tell him to hurry up and apologize to me. You dare to let your subordinates sneak attack me? You'd better think about how to compensate me to appease my anger. Otherwise, you'll all become meat skewers today. What? Everyone's scalps went numb. This guy actually wanted the genius of 1,000 Demon City to apologize and compensate? Heavens! They felt that the sky was collapsing. You're courting death. Rhinoceros Saint and Demon Wolf Saint were instantly enraged. They couldn't tolerate it. Kill! The 2 of them emitted a biting, cold, killing intent in their eyes. At this moment, they didn't hold back at all. Rhinoceros Saint's body emitted light. His physique was really too strong. Every attack was earth-shattering. At this moment, he rushed over, wanting to fight Lin Xian in close combat. On the other side, Demon Wolf Saint waved his treasured saber, striking out one terrifying saber light after another, carrying with it the laws. Every saber was aimed at Lin Xian's vital points. Buzz! Countless sword qi rushed out of Lin Xian's body, colliding with the saber light. At the same time, he also rushed up. How dare you fight him in close combat? You're courting death. He waved his fist and exchanged blows with the other party. Thunderclaps sounded between heaven and earth, and then Rhinoceros Saint retreated. With every step he took, his body cracked a little. Finally, with a loud bang, his body was torn into pieces. Demon Wolf, Saint didn't have it easy either. Those sword chi hit his treasured saber, causing his hand to go numb and his arm to crack. In the end, he was grazed by 2 sword chi, and 2 wounds appeared on his body. One of them almost split him in half. Damn, who is this person? He's too fierce. He fought against 2 demon saints and didn't fall into a disadvantage. Moreover, he injured them so easily. This guy is definitely an extremely terrifying genius. The surrounding people were extremely excited. Chapter 37:28. Lin Xian's strength exceeded everyone's expectations. Yu, Xiao Shifeng, and the others almost fainted from fright. White Snake was incomparably excited, her delicate little face filled with shock. Too powerful. The current Lin Xian had already become her idol. This kind of strength was simply world-shocking, making ghosts and gods weep. Damn brat, just you wait, you dare to oppose our 1,000 city. You're dead for sure. Rhinoceros Saint and Demon Wolf Saint gnashed their teeth in anger. Their faces were also full of shock, even incomparably alarmed. The other party's strength exceeded their imagination. However, so what? How powerful was their 1,000 city? It was a holy city. Those who dared to oppose them all had to die. The 2 turned around, wanting to leave. They wanted to report to their big brother Watermoon that there was a terrifying powerhouse here that had to be quickly eliminated. Wanna leave? Lin Xian sneered. I already said, those who make a move against me have to pay the price. Cloud Leopard was the outcome. He opened his mouth, spitting out heaven overflowing flames, forming a sea of fire, completely enveloping those 2. No, damn it. The 2 were furious, carrying out a counterattack. The laws on Rhinoceros, Saint's body surged. The blade light on Demon Wolf, Saint's body, continuously flickered, wanting to split apart these flames. However, this was 9-yang divine fire, and even had the power of 5 elements laws. How could the other party possibly split it apart? In an instant, the 2 were burned until they screamed miserably. There was even the smell of barbecued meat wafting out. It can't be, right? 2 more people became barbecued meat? He really was ruthless. Many people were incomparably excited. They felt that Lin Xian was too powerful. He was really too powerful. Of course, there were also some people who sneered. Reckless. Although the other party was strong, how could he possibly contend against 1,000 city, this kind of colossus? His outcome would definitely be incomparably miserable. Boss, save me. In the sea of fire, miserable cries came. At the same time, in the depths of the manor, a hall directly exploded. Violent figures rushed into the sky, tearing through the void, instantly arriving nearby. These people's expressions were abnormally cold. Among them, the one in the lead was precisely a man wearing a water blue robe. Water and fire collided, 2 types of power intertwined, 2 types of laws collided. However, what surprised Watermoon was that he actually couldn't extinguish these flames. How was this possible? What kind of flame was this? His face sank as he waved his sleeves. 2 blue rays of light entered the sea of fire and pulled 2 figures out. The Rhinoceros Saint and the Demonic Wolf Saint were panting heavily. Their faces were extremely ugly, and their bodies were charred black. In fact, there were even some areas that had turned red, giving off a meaty aroma. Boss, kill him and avenge us. Yes, he roasted the cloud leopard and ate it. The 2 sages looked at the moon and were about to cry. You 2 heal yourselves first. Shui, you will do it. And the law of water's energy surged into their bodies to heal them. At the same time, he lowered his head to look at Lin Xian below, his eyes bursting with an ambiguous light. Around him, the people from the demon city held sabers and axes in their hands, and their demonic chi filled the sky. The entire world was completely enveloped, and the entire mansion was on the verge of collapse. If there was no way to defend, this place would have long become a bottomless abyss. The people below trembled when they felt the terrifying aura. Some of them were even forced to crawl on the ground. Even the saints had ugly expressions on their faces. Too strong, so this was the demon city? Previously, they thought that Lin Xian was brave, but now, could Lin Xian really fight against the demon city? Hand over the cloud leopard's corpse, kneel down and wait for our orders. Shui Yu's voice rang out, carrying an unquestionable order. Everyone in the mansion was alarmed, and they all gathered around. There were even other disciples of the holy city who were watching, and their faces were also full of surprise. When Lin Xian heard the other party's words, he sneered and did not answer. Instead, he questioned, "You're their big brother? You came at the right time. How dare you condone your younger brother's assault on me? How should you be punished? Hurry up and kneel down from the sky, kowtow and apologize, and I can consider sparing your lives. Otherwise, I'll turn all of you into barbecued skewers." Everyone was stunned. This was really an arrogant and ruthless person. Now, he still dared to be so arrogant? It seems that you don't know the strength of our holy city. Shui Yu's face darkened. No one had ever dared to provoke them like this. The experts of the demon city beside him were even more furious. "Damned kid, who do you think you are? How dare you oppose us? Boss, let me go. I'll definitely tear him to pieces." The demonic energy on these great demons was too terrifying. The stars in the sky were swaying, as if they were going to fall. Yu and Xiao Shifeng revealed sinister expressions. This time this brat should be dead, right? White Snake's face became incomparably pale. It was over. They had probably stirred up a big mess. From the looks of it, no matter how powerful Lin Xian was, he wouldn't be able to stop them. Perhaps even their silver palace wouldn't be able to stop them. Lin Gongzi, hurry up and leave the demon planet. There's still a chance now. White Snake quickly transmitted her voice. She felt that Lin Xian's only way now was to escape. Lin Xian turned around, giving her a look that said there was no need to panic. Then he looked toward Shui Yu. "I said that you guys didn't know the difference between life and death. Are you really courting death? Are you very powerful? What's your status in Demon City? How are you compared to the 100 Eyes Demon Sage?" Lin Xian asked indifferently. "Where is the 100 Eyes Demon Sage? Tell him to get over here. Look at him. He doesn't dare to be arrogant in front of me. 100 Eyes Demon Sage." When some of the experts heard this name, they sucked in a breath of cold air. This was a super expert. He was an extremely terrifying genius in Demon City. His eye technique was too strange, and no one could block it. This brat knew the 100 Eyes Demon Sage, and judging from his tone, he didn't seem to care about the 100 Eyes Demon Sage. Heavens, who exactly was this person? They felt that he was becoming more and more mysterious. The people from the Demon City were stunned as well. Then they became even more furious. "Damn it! How dare you slander our senior brother 100 Eyes? You're courting death. How can you compare to our senior brother 100 Eyes?" These people were really crazy. Even Shui Yu's face darkened, and her eyes were filled with monstrous killing intent. The blue sea appeared around him. Senior brother 100 Eyes wasn't here. Otherwise, he would have killed you 100 times with just one look. You want to compare yourself with our 100 Eyes Demon Sage? You're really courting death. The crowd whispered. The 100 Eyes Demon Sage was undeniably powerful. At this moment, someone spoke again. "What a stupid brat. You think you can be arrogant in front of us just because you have some strength? The power of Demon City is not something an ant like you can imagine." "Who's shouting?" Lin Xian turned around and glanced at the person. The others were also confused. Who was it at this moment? In the next moment, their hearts beat wildly. It was someone from Thunder God City. Oh heavens, another holy city. Chapter 37:29. From the looks of it, the people of Thunder God City were also protecting the glory of the Holy City. The Holy City was the most dazzling existence in the starry sky. No one could provoke it. Everyone felt that Lin Xian was dead for sure. With another holy city, it would be hard for him to escape. It's over. Despair appeared on White Snake's face. Xiao West Wind sneered. This was great. He had to see this demon die. You also sneered. Many people from the demon palace had gathered beside him. These people originally wanted to make a move, but now it seemed like there was no need for them. The two holy cities could definitely make Lin Xian die without a burial ground. Lin Xian looked at the people of Thunder God City and narrowed his eyes. Originally, he wanted to look for them later. Who would have thought that they would take the initiative to jump out? Where's Lei Chong? Tell him to get over here and die. I want to ask him, how did he educate his little brothers? Pooh! The surrounding people almost spat out a mouthful of blood. This kid was too fierce. He didn't even put Lei Chong in his eyes. One had to know that Lei Chong was also a thunder god. He was an extremely terrifying genius, a fifth heaven sage. This kid first provoked the 100-eyed demon saint, and now he was provoking Lei Chong. Really, everyone didn't know how to describe it. They felt a headache coming. They had never seen such a fierce person. When the people of Thunder God City heard this, they were so angry that smoke came out of their bodies. You're courting death. A few Thunder God cultivators couldn't hold back and instantly attacked. Frightening lightning bolts charged towards Lin Xian. In an instant, the entire space was flooded. However, Lin Xian's speed was extremely fast. He had already left. His black hair fluttered as he stood in the void. His aura was extremely terrifying. What? You dare to attack me? Even if Lei Chong was here, he probably wouldn't dare to attack me. You people dare to attack me? Speaking up to here, he punched out. His fist turned into a huge cauldron that descended from the sky. That huge cauldron had a terrifying dragon image coiling around it. It was extremely mysterious and terrifying. This was the dragon pattern cauldron that Lin Xian had transformed. The dragon pattern cauldron was the ultimate weapon of the wavering light Holy Land. When Lin Xian manifested it, it was truly terrifying. Sure enough, when the cauldron fell, the few Thunder God martial artists who attacked were instantly sent flying. His body split open, and he spat out large mouthfuls of blood. Even the others were affected by the shock waves and were forced to retreat non-stop. So strong? Everyone went crazy. Some people were even scared silly. Lin Xian's one move had sent several holy city disciples flying. What kind of divine being was this? The Thunder Gods people quickly retreated. Lightning filled the air as they roared. Damn it, who are you? Who are you? Lin Xian stood with his hands clasped behind his back. I am Lin Wudi. Lin Wudi's name was like thunder, resounding through the 9 heavens. Everyone was stunned. The onlookers couldn't believe it. The people from the 1,000 Demon City and Thunder God City narrowed their eyes. It was him who deserved to die. How could they not know this name? It was like thunder piercing their ears. This was the person who had just become Wushuang City's 3rd-generation chief disciple. During the entrance ceremony, he had defeated Lei Chong and the other challengers from Thunder God City. It could be said that he was unparalleled in the limelight. However, everyone had only heard of his name, so they didn't know Lin Xian's true appearance. But now, they didn't expect him to come here. How was this possible? The people from the 2 holy cities were dumbfounded. Shouldn't he be cultivating in seclusion at this time? The onlookers were even more dumbfounded. The other party was really Lin Wudi. Previously, Lin Xian had said this, but they had treated it as a joke. No one believed it, but now they realized that he was actually telling the truth. Bang bang. Xiao Shifeng and Yu knelt down again. The 2 of them were scared to death this time. They had actually dared to provoke Lin Wudi. Weren't they simply courting death? Now, they wished that they had 8 legs on their feet so that they could run away quickly. But the fear in their hearts made them unable to even move a finger. Heavens, he was actually Linwoody. White Snake felt that it was unreal, as if she was dreaming. She had heard of Linwoody's name countless times. He was a legendary figure. Yet he had actually appeared in front of her, and she had actually spent so many days with him. Thinking of this, White Snake felt like she was going to faint from happiness. Even some of the elders were shocked. Now, they finally knew why the other party dared to provoke the 2 holy cities. Linwoody had indeed defeated Lei Chong, so they didn't take him seriously. However, he still dared to provoke the 100-eyed demon sage. Could it be that he had also fought with the 100-eyed demon sage? And from the looks of it, he had won. Thinking of this possibility, the people from the 1,000 Demon City felt like they were going crazy. Impossible. Their senior brother Bai Yen was so terrifying. In terms of strength, he should be even stronger than Lei Chong. Could it be that he had also lost to this kid? That was definitely impossible. So, you are Linwoody, Shui said coldly. His expression was also very ugly. Although you are Linwoody, you can't be too arrogant. Why did you kill our people for no reason? Do you really think that the 1,000 Demon City is easy to bully? Why would I kill your people for no reason? Lin Xian laughed. Who was the one who did it for no reason? I stood here and didn't even move. Your cloud leopard directly tried to kill me. If I were a little weaker, I would have been dead long ago. Do you think that I can't fight back? Then you can't kill him. You can even roast him. The people from the 1,000 Demon City roared. I'm letting him off easy by killing him. According to his way of doing things, it wouldn't be enough even if he died 10,000 times. I think the people around should have heard him. When he attacked, he said that the strong don't need any reason to kill ants. I did it according to his logic. What's wrong with that? Besides, Cloud Leopard is nothing. I am the 3rd-generation chief, disciple. My status is noble. If he dared to attack me, he would be provoking Wushuang City. Do you think I can let someone who dares to provoke the Holy City live? Lin Xian's words made everyone's eyelids jump wildly. Indeed, the other party was also a disciple of the Holy City. Moreover, his status was even more special. He was the 3rd-generation chief, disciple. This status was too dazzling and could really represent the Holy City. Therefore, what the other party did was really not too much. The people from the 1,000 Demon City were so angry that they couldn't speak. They couldn't refute anymore. Shui also gritted his teeth. Linwoody, I will remember you. This matter is not over. One day, I will let you experience the power of our 1,000 Demon City. Go. With a wave of his hand, he turned and left. Lin Xian sneered. Did I say you can leave? What do you want? Shui turned around and screamed in anger. His handsome face was also incomparably red. The surrounding demons were angry. Linwoody, don't go too far. I'm going too far. Lin Xian sneered. It seems that you still don't understand the meaning of being the chief disciple. I've said it before. You'd better think about how to compensate me to appease my anger. Otherwise, I will turn all of you into skewers. You're tuning in to the Thunder Spear YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.